because you got the big boys coming up next.
Time flies.
We'll see you guys soon.
Flies when you're having fun.
Tomorrow for me, rundown for Joe. Ooh, stick around, guys. Take it easy.
He's not muted now.
I think Joe is the special guest that we may or may not be experiencing here.
The secret guest.
The secret guest.
That we were able to figure out.
Is Joe.
I don't think it's a secret guest. I mean, Sharif's off this week because it's Orthodox Christmas this week. So that's what he'll be hopefully enjoying. I don't know where he is, but hopefully enjoying himself for sure. But we're back. It's hilarious because the last topic of conversation was how MSTR was lagging Bitcoin. And I was like, oh, what's it doing? And I don't know, trying to catch up is the answer to that question. It's almost as if, like, Joe just pointed out how this was not vastly different, but weaker relative to IBIT being up 5.1, and MSTR has gone a little bit, not psycho, but it's been speeding up. So interestingly enough, I guess it's not all bad, but I understand exactly what Joe was getting at with that, because IBIT's been an absolute beast all day long, and you really haven't got the outsized move to the upside you'd want. Because if it's going to be outsized move when it goes down, well, you want to get some more gains and not just sit there buying IBIT as your advantage. Because, hey, if you're going to get less downside but more upside, then why would you not just ever only go long IBIT? But to each their own. I understand some people like this MSTR nonsense, but not going to be my cup of tea by a long shot. Just not a fan.
Yeah, you come back and you're seeing another trade here from you on Nvidia. Unfortunately, just when we went to go get a coffee, we got stopped out right there, breaking that high. We got back and realized that that exactly was the high, so we made the high again there on Nvidia, and we just punched it right back down in. So from taking like a 15-cent hit to now in the money 72 cents as we continue to bleed down. We still got half of this position on as well. But welcome back, everybody. I mean, we're going to talk about some oil trading today. What's up, Randy? I see you in the background over there. We can look at some CVX. There he is. This is real Randy now. No, fake Randy.
Orange is
yeah, fake Randy is an orange shirt. Because you were off last week, we kept on putting on the fake Randy. I don't know if we have that at some point. You'll see it. Yeah, I think, is he doing the thumbs up in the fake one? Like, yeah. Anyway, shout out to Randy there.
Like
we're getting these desks all set up. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. CVX still at highs, really. I mean, sure, you're not exactly where you were at 9 o'clock, 8:30, but you have fallen back down just a bit to 160, now back to 165. There's CVX. Oil today, G, there it is, the February, doing pretty good, up 1.5 there on, obviously, tie-ups there was Venezuela. We heard some trading over there. Obi talked about why maybe Coke or Pepsi might be moving around today as well, but these are the oil trades. And then Bitcoin, I mean, we have Bitcoin written down as a long, but we were waiting for dips, and that didn't really happen. But look at that, man, 200 period moving average, and then VWAP holding beautifully for IBIT as we continue to go high. There it is, yeah, so it's an orange. It's that orangey ready shirt right there. So I am also short right here, only because we're at VWAP. We are very capable of getting out of this one, especially if it breaks above 54, which is your 200 period moving average right now on the Nasdaq. So yeah, we're short underneath the Nasdaq, so that should be okay. We'll just play VWAP there, and then we'll wait for Nvidia. And then I guess it was Intel that was a really good trade there off that, and now it's really at a key level again of where we kind of went long the first time, but I'm gonna pass on that. Yeah, I think everything. That's what I was trying to do. Is I'm short everything, so hopefully the weakness in the market continues. Next bid for me on Nvidia is 187.11, which is the low of the day. So we'll see if we come into there. Good re-short, that's for sure. We did get stopped out there, which sucks. Wish that didn't happen, and we'd still be down here, but we did reload it. So we're putting a little bit more money in our pocket there with this Nvidia short, and we're gonna go through the rundown.
Yeah.
Which, hopefully you'll have a lot of those names on there. Yeah, BBAI green. Yeah, that's nice.
Well, you want the pain today. I mean, the market's been pretty good, but there's been some pain in a couple of places. Most notably, okay, fine. I don't know why I have NEO on my personal quote board. Don't own it, haven't traded. I think it's just a holdover that I just refuse to get rid of. But the second one on that list, you might know. Well, I mean, I would hope you know it. It's Eli Lilly, and it's down 3.8%. Novo had some positive news, but Eli Lilly showing some signs of weakness. I'm flipped, like I was long Intel earlier, and I just typed in New York, it's Eli Lilly's New York, and I flipped into the short. It just comes down to And we talked about this in the middle of the day, like the lesson of the day. Well, it was downward trending, or it is downward trending, so we got away with a couple of longs, and then it comes right into one of our buy zones, and if a prior buy zone turns into resistance, short it instead, because that's a key price level. So you want to ideally trade key price levels in the correct direction. This case, we're trending down. And this has been the problem. Like the reason the Nasdaq's weaker than the ES today is mostly because of chips. Really, like at the open, they've been they were what was disappointing. You look at Nvidia and AMD, very true. Even one of the strongest ones, like look at Micron. Like this morning we were talking about how, the data names, boom, another bull run, another fresh set of highs, and that got squashed within like a matter of minutes, and they're all trending lower now, whether it's this or my good friend, SNDK, which I'm still surprised this isn't weaker than it is, to be honest with you. I would think this would be worse than Micron. But they'll be on the radar this afternoon. Hopefully, on the way up, some of these memory names, you took advantage of that upside because they've been parabolic for a while. No one ever went broke taking some profits. So I know we're going to give with Joe a little extra time to set up there, as I can see he's getting ready for our rundown this afternoon. I have an idea what symbols are going to be on there, but I don't want to spoil it.
So right here it is, man. We are coming back into the dollar club. So we put, Nvidia cracking lower, right there into 187 right there. So there's your day low break, and we're short. We did get stopped out there. That sucks, but we'll put it right back on short for Nvidia. And it's been a good day. We'll have to wait to see if these futures want to come down. I am bidding right here at 70s, just hoping that, we do get this 50 period. I mean, maybe 71 is exactly that, but we're gonna get down to 70, man. Blow through, and then we'll see. Go. Oh, Memex there with a big bid. This really shouldn't matter when you're talking about the Qs or anything like that. So let's wait to see if the futures want to continue to make a move down. We are bouncing off the 50 period moving average. I mean, I could put a little piece out there at 71 in case it runs that over, and we don't. There we go. Well, now we get 70s as well. So we get 71 and 70s, and here we come. The futures finally making that move to the downside. We got the dollar on Nvidia. Names like Palantir, this is going to be the #1 P&L name for me today. It's not even close. This one, boom, to the downside right here. It's not an easy day trading. I don't know if Joe and Obi mentioned if they were green or red. I'm not sure if they are, but not the easiest day trading today. We'll be green, but it's been a tough one. We've had to battle some of these trades, including that Nvidia one. The futures have been good for us all day. This Palantir one has been pretty good. We'll have to wait to see futures in and out right there. I do hear Sia talking about SOFI a little bit. So, wow, 29.30, up 7% there for SOFI. Man, these banks continue to rock and roll. That is for sure. 336 and change right now. I'm going to get another piece out of the TQs and then just wait to see about Nvidia. Nvidia just bounced off 187. I still think there's lower. Look, they have CES tonight, man, at 4 p.m. Is it 4 p.m. or 4 p.m. Eastern or Central? I think it's Central.
Let me.
We have it at 4 p.m. Eastern on our.
See, I thought it was. Maybe it's AMD that's later, and
it's one of them because we have it right here Eastern, 4 p.m. on our.
Lisa Sue's later.
Yeah, because it's in California, it's in Vegas, so it's you got to do the time.
And then Intel's at 6 Eastern. It's
okay.
They're all staggered. This evening at CES.
Get down, Nvidia.
Either way, it's not going to be when the market's open. That's the bigger takeaway. Yes. We're going to be reacting to CES pretty much all week, but we are now ready for the rundown. Let's go up to Joe at the desk. He's joined by Sia, as you can see right behind me, to talk about some of the names Tesla that you guys might be interested in.
Oh, boy.
All right, guys, welcome to the afternoon rundown, the segment where you guys get to pick the stocks that we talk about. So make sure you get in throughout the whole intraday session and get those votes in, especially with Obi and I. But let's start this off here, guys. Also, it's going to be Joe and Sia today. So we're going to take a look at some of the names, and we're going to get significantly more in depth with some of the news catalysts that have been partaking today. So as for the top of the list, guys, DVLT Data Vault AI shares are trading higher after the company announced a nationwide planned deployment of its Sanctum in partnership with AP Global to support near real-time tokenization and data exchange and agentic monetization in 2026. The stock is up 46% from Friday's close and continuing to climb higher on today's intraday session. See a big time move here in DataVault.
Pretty sure, yeah, a big time move here. Also, DataVault has agreed to issue 7.5 million shares of its common stock in exchange for certain intellectual property rights as of today. So that's also probably why it's trading up and doing pretty well today.
Absolutely. Shares trading higher. DataVault, guys, share offering. What do you think?
Yeah, this kind of jokes. I'm going to put a ticket in because it actually, in P-Pro, we know DataVault, we know DVLT, but it has the wrong company name in our drop-down, which is not that big of a deal if you know, but it doesn't really matter. Look, this for a $250 million shares, this is kind of dead right now, even though it's up 42%. That being said, like the move has been really good. Like you doubled up from the lows to get 50 cents to $1 on Friday, and then a little bit of continuation here. But I think it's going to be that dollar that you need to hold on to.
Oh boy.
It's going to be the 200-period moving average. You already held once on a dip, so let's see if we can put in some higher lows. But I'm not, see what I mean about the volume? Look at this day where it spiked in the morning and then gradually lower volume, and then you were gradually lower going into the close, except for one little bounce. And then look at what happened on Friday. Like on Friday, when it was trending up, you had volume spikes in the afternoon as well. So this is a little bit different. I don't love it as much as you would have in the afternoon on Friday because of this dwindling volume. So I'm going to call this one a bit of a disappointment. I'll stay away from it. I didn't pay for locates, wouldn't go short anyways. But again, I think it's a good move that it's having. But for this afternoon, I would probably sit it out just on the volume basis.
So guys, we just took out, I'm short Nvidia here, we just took out the day's low there on Nvidia, and I took a little bit more rate there. I'm lighter and lighter on this, like less than 20% now on NVDA, and half of our TQs. That's not going. The futures aren't really going downside as much as I had hoped for. We got a break of 70 when Nvidia broke, and we're able to take advantage of those fills down into here, and then that was it, right? Our best fill there is 65. So, looking to see if we can get another fill in and around this area, and then breaking through into 55s would be our next sort of an area of concern there on the Nasdaq and on the TQQ. So yeah, DataVault breaking through $1 is something that's interesting. I wanted to see Open Door, see if that can hold $6. GameStop also near that $20 market. There's a couple good names that we can always look at for you here every day, but this is Open Door right here trying to bounce off of this $556 mark. So this is an interesting name. This one can do hundreds of millions of shares right now, just 33 million. So not really on anybody's radar, but watch out for Open Door over the next couple of days. Could get going into that area. I like Open Door down here, but I like the TQs and I like Nvidia going lower and lower right now. Now $1.20 in the money there on Nvidia. It's too bad that we got that stop out there. It's good that we put it back, but we had to pay basically 20 cents difference once we took that 21-period moving average, and the roll on is real on Nvidia. All right, I don't know what's next. We're going to go find out from Sia and Joey.
Yeah, all right, yes, guys. NuScale Power is going to be up next. The stock, is down 66.7% off of its previous pivot high. But if we're going to look at it from an optimistic standpoint, off of these lows, we're up 33%. So trading from a low of approximately $14 up to where we're at right now at $19.16, that's a nice move here in SMR to the top side, almost 40% there, Sia.
Yeah, so the House Energy Subcommittee will also be holding a hearing on how to assist the deployment of nuclear power plants. And also, the U.S. House of Representatives will be focusing on nuclear power specifically in the new year, and that's also definitely a reason why it's doing as good as it is doing.
Absolutely, that's a big-time play. We know the transition into nuclear power. It's going to be a nice move, and you can see the space all around. It's continuing to grow. A lot of the stocks have been hit over time, but finding a bottom and a nice recovery in SMR, guys.
Yes, this is a powerful day for SMR. It's going nuclear to the upside. I don't know, like throw in whatever pun you want, but you might not have to wait too long. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention this. This was, I should have said this morning. This is one of the patented, if you look at where the death cross happened on the daily, right here, $18, death cross, 50 SMA over the 200 period, which is actually pretty flat, so almost upward sloping. but we just broke back through there. So anyone that put a short on the death cross got out of the money just today. So just today they started to get blown out. I think that can be adding to a little bit of the strength on SMR. I think until proven otherwise. Day 3, I might worry about it. Like 1, 2, 3 spot, look for a pullback day, but so far it's looking quite good there. And I'm not saying like, I have nothing against, if you like death crosses, golden crosses. I've just noticed that whenever you see something, a lot of times, more often than not, when I see something like this, like you put in a death cross on the daily, and then it gets back through that entry point, there's some explosion. Because it's like a stop out point for someone that just entered that short. And it's a pretty popular technical trade, that SMR trade, so, or the death cross trade. So I like the explosion here. I did not get in. I was kind of sitting back looking at 13 on my personal account as a place to reload, but I think probably going to have to hop on the bid in the next available pullback in this one if I want to get a piece to start the year of what looks like a good run. Remember, I ain't making any money. Okay, so like this is, when it goes up 20%, this stock is no trouble going down 20% too. It's just, you understand a shot play when you see one, but when the momentum starts going in your favor, that's a time to try to join the ride while it lasts.
Yeah, I'm a little distracted here because right now Nvidia is just really hitting the skid right here to the downside, just keeps on printing lower now at $1.50, and we are trying to also negotiate the TQs as well as we get a little lower on these on the overall market right now. Trying to go, I mean, it feels strange because it's really just a story here of the chip names starting to go a little bit lower, right, including advanced micro devices. Actually, it's really just, it's Nvidia there. I don't know, with that expensive DRAM and all that kind of stuff. Now they talked about some of their chips getting to be a little bit more expensive, and that could wind up, I guess, maybe hitting some of their numbers. We'll see what happens here at CES if Jensen ever gets questioned about that. I'm gonna take out another piece here at 67, cross up and get another piece out there. But yeah, we're getting lighter and lighter on these trades, and then the futures here, maybe we'll give it up, but I don't know. Another out right there at 60s. Now we wait for 56 for our next piece. Let's go back over to the desk. I like Oklo in the space more than SMR, but I'm only a shareholder in SMR. What's up, other Zenk? Hope you're well.
All right. I mean, here it is, guys. NVDA down 12.23% off of those previous pivot highs. Sia, what do you got for us?
So NVIDIA was trading up by 1.4% in the pre-market. There's 2 reasons for this I'm sure about. So CEO Jensen Huang is set to speak at CES in Las Vegas this week. Also, the chip maker the chip maker is probably doing pretty well, getting a lift from positive news for demand for certain artificial intelligence hardware from Taiwan's Foxconn, which is the Taiwanese multinational electronics company. You got something else, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. So we got the CES, obviously the keynote with Jensen and company. I think the real big question is what comes after the black wall? And that's what investors are going to be looking forward towards and looking towards, because that could be where the next step in which NVIDIA takes as a stock in itself. We've been consolidating for quite some time, and we're looking to take that next leg higher. What is going to be the driver of that move? Is it going to be the successor of Blackwell, or is it going to be more partnerships? What do the guys think about NVDA?
Well, I didn't know what to think about NVIDIA today. I was...
They were so strong this morning.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, we went long early on NVIDIA holding this 189.50, and then eventually it lost 189.50, and we got out there on basically a 189 break. So we held it. It lost it there. We got back in. It was a great trade. We were up on NVIDIA. We were still up on NVIDIA, and then we decided to flip short once this market happened, and it gave it up, and it was just like, see ya, all the way there to that downside. And at that point, it was like, let's just go short. So we waited for it to pop back up. It did exactly that. It came right into our levels, and we went short against the 200 period moving average. So now we continue to be short on NVIDIA, and it's a big stock today. It's a nicely profitable one. I just wish we didn't get stopped out right there, but that's trading, and sometimes you get taken out, and we put right there, that sort of afternoon high is where we stopped out, 188.20 or so, but then just punched it right back in at once it broke 188. So 20 cents or so hit right there, maybe a little bit more to get it all back plus as the market continues to bleed down. And we wait to see what winds up happening at 4 o'clock with Nvidia. I know it's a hold, don't trade sort of stock right now, but I'm wondering if I just get out and dump this all in the Nasdaq. It's not trading like the market right now, down 1.2 with the market being up. You wouldn't have thought of that, but we'll wait for Nvidia. I mean, tonight's the real story with CES. So we'll see if there's anything spicy coming of that. It doesn't look like it will be. I think it'll be a negative story, but
I don't mind holding them, but I think it's part of the reason why I was an AMD seller earlier is because I don't know if I need to have both of these things at these spots.
Yeah, probably not.
Would you want to own Nvidia, Broadcom, and Oracle, and maybe already have half the Mag 7? And it's a lot of exposure to have. But if it's confined right in AMD Nvidia, and Nvidia's been, I'd take what Nvidia's been doing, all that consolidation, over some of the wildness of AMD. Look, I said this morning I liked AMD and Intel a little bit better for trade, but wish I had sniffed out that nonsense on AMD. You don't see topping tail candles like this very often on a 15-minute, where it's $4 to the upside, and then this candle ends up closing, losing $3 from the open. So it's a $7 open candle, and it's a reversal candle, and the second one's another $5 down. It was instantly nasty. So I tried the long, that didn't work. I was even, to a similar story, I was a long Intel this morning, and then that turnaround, now it's just a short on lower high. So look, everyone got touched here a little bit negatively, so playing the short has made sense. The only chip names that we're not talking about, but look again here, the memory names are down even worse, like Micron. So I'm not saying the bubble is bursting or anything like that, but going into what is supposed to be an exciting week of presentations in terms of what is next for AI, and what we're getting is selling across the board and some of the most explosive names. So maybe it's just a little bit of sell the news. I guess that won't be determined until after CES. If we're still turning around after CES, and I think you have a right to be worried, because then we're going to need those first quarter earnings to be a big deal. Because right now we're not even talking about them yet. And at some point we're going to have to be talking about first quarter earnings, and then it's put up or shut up.
Oh, all right. What's going on? All right, guys, next on the list, we have Tesla. All right, guys, so the China Auto Industry Body CPCA stating that Tesla sold 97,000 vehicles in the month of December, some of its highest on record. The stock is also down 9% off of that $499 high, now trading around $454.
Okay. Also, another key thing to note, not specifically Tesla related, but in a recent X post replying to a claim that SpaceX will be building starships like airplanes, Musk wrote, yes, at a massive volume, maybe even as high as 10,000 ships per year, which is insane.
Yeah, that's a substantial number. And I think when we stay forward looking, and the boys are going to chime in here momentarily, is that with Tesla, you have to remain forward-looking. Why? Because of the autonomy, the robotics, and that's the things that we're looking at specifically down the pipeline. Guys, what remains you bullish on Tesla stock?
5,000 million, 100 quadrillion optimists
Is there an asteroid headed for Earth that I don't know about, Elon?
He's getting prepared.
Yeah, man, let the rest of us know if it's all going down. I need to contact Bibble and get on one of his spaceships and get out of Dodge. Okay, so, I thought it was a little bit ambitious to think we're going to have 1 million Optimus robots coming off the line in 2 years, but apparently we're going to have thousands of starships. But, this is the Elon, it's part of the shtick, right? Have huge ambition, have huge targets, and then obviously, the idea that it's going to be completely realistic in terms of time frame, in terms of scope, is usually going to be a bit out of whack. That being said, you don't necessarily win betting against some of the vision. So I get it. I think, I'm way more optimistic about this Optimus. Maybe a few years down later, it can be household than Elon thinks, but certainly that Starship one's a bit out of there. That's a bit out there for me. I can't get behind that. But Tesla is one of the strongest stocks here today. So it's always key like, forget about the fact that we had bad deliveries and then the flush on Friday. What happens when we get the reaction the next day? And so far today, so good. Now, we didn't get through the 460 resistance. It never got to that price for a fade, and we're not really busting through that yet. But it has held up better than the overall market. It's making higher. It's making a nice little bull flag here. So the buyers have responded once again to ignoring the delivery numbers en masse. It's like there's a panic sell when it happens, to the extent that you can call Fridays a panic sell. I think it was kind of like that. And then you're getting a nice little bounce here on Tesla. The other good news is, looky, that is a big time hold of the 50-period moving average. So I think it's a little short-term bullish here off that 50-period moving average. It was like 444, but now 445 here. Maybe look for the 450 to start holding this week. But yeah, some good relative strength here on Tesla. I think it's more of a buy the dip after the deliveries than anything to do with these ridiculous kind of targets or whatever that Elon's talking about. That's not the reason it's up 4%, because he says they're building thousands of Starships. It's because we've been buying the dips. The stock's been buying the dips after deliveries for a year now.
Yeah, I really like Tesla. I think if you're going to talk about the robotics, I mean, I'm in ARKQ, which is a robotics, and I actually just got a dividend from this stock, so that was kind of.
What does that pay?
I don't know, nothing. I don't think. But yeah, I'm surprised it pays a dividend. Period. But there goes ARKQ cooking right here. This is a great trade. We put this on with all of you, I think, well, anyone that was talking about it. The day was 108, 109, something like that, or maybe even 104. I can't remember. Yeah, it might have been in here. Well, yeah, it must have been right there. The day, just early December, when the government sort of got on board with everything to do with robotics. So we hopped on this ARKQ trade. So this has been a good one. Has ASTS, has RKLB in there, and a few good names that should continue to benefit there, with Tesla being part of this as well. So ARKQ, really liking this robotics name, moving to the upside right here again today. So yeah, congratulations anybody on this one. I like this stock, ARKQ. I hope some of you took this advice when we had bought it. An ETF up now about 17 or 18%, with a good day today, man, 4.5%. So yeah, robotics on people's minds as we continue to be short Nvidia and the TQQs. And then because we looked at Tesla today, Rivian is going to pull back into some of these levels. So I'd say get ready if you're interested in Rivian. Get ready for $18 or so. I think that's a key level that probably plays at some point here on RIVN. All right, man. Yeah, look, no matter how you're doing today, just keep looking for different stocks that are trading with volume. Like, we're short Nvidia. It's now at the low of the day. We're short the Nasdaq, which continues to go a little bit lower as well. So I'm choosing short. Let's see what these guys got behind us. Joe, I think it's one more name or two more names. Let's go back. One more name, and then we'll get out of here. Joe might stay.
Gotta be SOFI.
Let's go find out what he's up to. Maybe SOFI, $29?
Gotta be SOFI.
Not going anywhere, guys. All right, they guessed it. Next on the list is SOFI. Talk a little bit about the technicals first. Considering we're down 10.25 off of its previous high, but it looks like it's breaking out and this move might be sustained. Now, if we're going to be looking at our previous pivot low around 23.45, we're up 26%. SOFI is scheduling its conference call to discuss its Q4 2025 and full year 2025 results. But one thing to note, guys, this is coming later in the year, 2026, January 30th. All right, so we'll keep that in mind. SOFI trading relatively nice, 26% off of its previous lows.
I also want to quickly remind everyone that SOFI over the past 36 months has skyrocketed, a dropping 510%, which is a big number, and around 900,000 new customers were seen in the third quarter that ended as of September 30th of 2025. The business now has over 12.6 million, Joe. That figure basically expanded 4 times since the end of 2021, which is a lot. And that propelled their revenue, which increased 38% year to year.
Absolutely. It's some great numbers and substantial growth, and that's what you want to look at from a fundamental standpoint. SOFI, guys, up over 5% from the open. What do you think?
Strong day for SOFI. So it needed to be the last one. 7% to the upside for SOFI. We get the earnings at the end of the month here.
There you go.
Well, the 30th, so whatever. Day from the end of the month, doesn't really matter. We'll get them at the end of the month. And ultimately, I think this is going to be a good year for SOFI. It hits on a lot of things here. You have the financials, which are going to be strong. You've got fintech, which is the future, where some money is sort of shifting into more modern finance. I think that really bodes well for SOFI. They're trying to do a little bit of everything. I think next stop, and maybe you can make an argument that we got there today and pulled back reasonably at the $30 level. It got to $29.95, which is a local high. So a nice consolidation over 29 would be good, and then you can maybe get a clean break this week through that 30 level. That's what we got to watch this week. It's going to be 30 on SOFI. The fact that it got so close without breaking today, and that, wasn't even looking at this, but like you could have literally just shorted the $30 level with 5 cents risk, but wasn't watching it. But I think that's going to be a potential breakout this week on SOFI. So, if you liked it at 25, well, maybe you'll like it breaking out 30. If it's a day trade, we're going to be there for sure. Doubt it's going to happen today with the weakness we're seeing in the second half of the session here. But before we move on, I know that was the last one, let's talk a little bit about OGEN, because when seconds count, you don't have time to wait for just treating symptoms. NYSE-listed Oragenics, OGEN, is rewriting the rules of neurological care. They're trying to help develop the first FDA-approved treatment for concussions, a devastating injury that I know a lot of athletes can sort of relate with, and not just athletes, I mean, whether it's car accidents, certainly affects a lot more people than I think gets acknowledged. So you can book a meeting with the team today. You can scan the QR code that I think will come up, or look at the link in the description, and shout out to OGEN. That is on the NYSE. There's our man, Buffalo Sabres legend, Pat LaFontaine. I should always say Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer instead of just legend, because you get in the Hall for reasons. Like a doctor, you got to say Hall of Famer. Pat LaFontaine. He was one of my favorite players growing up. Like my babysitter, he was his literal favorite player.
Yeah.
Always. We used to have the what do you call the like that hockey?
Yeah, not air hockey, but
no,
I know. Yeah,
I
have that game.
Whatever.
I can't remember what it is.
So my babysitter, he would actually print out like names and tape them to the back of the players.
Yeah.
So we'd have different lines, and he was all about, it was like Leclerc, for whatever reason it was Leclerc and LaFontaine were always his wingers. I don't know why you like John Leclerc so much.
We had different, you had the Canadians, the Leafs, there's all a bunch of different jerseys.
It's not foosball.
No.
Foosball's on the side.
It's just the air hockey table. It's not air hockey. It's the, we can show you tons of pictures of it. There's lots of people have those things.
Yeah.
I still have one. I know I have one at my house for sure, because we bought one for our kids.
Does this still work?
Yeah. There's new ones.
I thought it was an old one.
Yeah, you get them at Costco these days. All right. Yeah, so thanks, Joseph. Thanks, Sia, there. Great segment there.
Has his own specific route, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're all locked in there.
Yeah.
Table hockey.
Yeah,
Table hockey.
exactly.
I'm going to get an image.
Yeah. They're all locked in. I like that one too, Joe. So, table hockey blast from the past. Okay. Well, look, I was just saying, like, it's been a good day. We've green, but wishing that we were up a little bit more. The problem is in Intel today, for me, is my biggest problem. We lost early, made, lost there, then made a little bit back, like half back or so of what we lost. But that's still the red stock for me today. We're going to have that, and then the futures right here we're going to wait for. We took it early. That was an early mistake there, and this is just trying to make that back right here and see if the market gives it up here into the close. Watching out for some oil names, watching out for Meta. That's a little low. JP Morgan is at, again, all-time highs. And the bank stocks just continue to work out. SOFI and Marvell, those are going to be picks. I don't know when we're going to include them. We've already, we're going to do 2026 picks. I'm going to have SOFI and Marvell on there for myself. But I really like today, Meta up 1.69%. They were actually down a little bit earlier. It's Apple and Nvidia today, which are kind of holding down the ES and the Nasdaq, although we still stay positive. There has been some weakness in the space, including Micron. This is what I'm trying to talk about. I mean, this has just been quite the run. Like, you don't see Goldman Sachs up 5% too often. And with this new environment here, deal making, more deals to come through here, especially again with Venezuela opening up. Maybe there's some more deal making down in the oil patches and whatnot to open up for them. But yeah, Robinhood up 6.5% now as well. So some of these names just continue to climb higher here in the financial space. Retail today, we've got Lululemon going. We've got Costco. We started the day with a red. Walmart, but now that's positive again. Amazon starting to go back up there to the upside, as well as retail trades coming right back in. And then, consumer non-durables, as people maybe chase risk on assets today and less of sort of these names that will be flights to safety. There's Keurig Dr. Pepper, Coke, Procter & Gamble, and again, some South American exposure to many of these names, right, that come into play. So you got to just be careful with what we're trading on a day like today, especially when we have, all that sort of rhetoric coming, again, from the United States and, what they did do down there to Venezuela. A lot of people now getting very aggressive in the space and in the oil space, and maybe selling off some of these definite blue chip names like I really like Procter & Gamble actually heading into the year as well. So there's lots. If you check out we'll go to C in a second. If you just check out Procter & Gamble, this name's actually been hit pretty good, still does have a real solid dividend. And, if you look in I know for us, we just got off Amazon, by the way, little Cascade dishwasher pods last night. So I'm just thinking those are probably a Procter & Gamble product, but this has been getting hit to the downside. Yeah, exactly. What don't they make? I put on deodorant after the gym, maybe TMI, but that's probably more information there as well regarding Procter.
How is that too much information? Isn't that just standard operation?
I mean, people don't,
It's
standard operation. I would think
that's the assumption at this.
Yeah, I also put on face cream. That might be TMI as well. I got Kiehl's, Kiehls or something.
No, you were hella normal with the
face gets too dry
after, but now you're talking about you put on lotion after.
Damn. Need some of that cocoa butter.
Oh shoot, I forgot. I'm gonna drop a few of these this week because over the holidays
longer than
Isaiah Whitlock.
Did he?
Yeah, the actor who played Clay Davis
in
The Wire passed over the holidays, and he was an absolute legend. So every single time you ever hear, because I do it all the time, and the funny thing about it, if you ever watch The Wire, he wasn't the only one that did that whole long
Yeah, I know. No,
everybody, it was like a Baltimore thing at that time. So lots of other characters did it. He just did it a couple times so absurdly that it was almost like he did it as a joke, and they just kind of ran with the take because no one would actually keep it going for 15 seconds, and he kind of did. But anyways, this guy was an absolute legend.
Yeah, legend.
I
think it's Sia at some point. Whenever you're ready. Show that picture, though.
Okay, this is what I was going to get to.
Yeah, I want to show the table hockey.
This is the table hockey.
But that's actually on a table.
Yeah, but usually
mine doesn't have those legs.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was way more thin. It wasn't this nice. These are foosball handles. Ours were little, the size of an eraser on the end of a pencil, and you were holding with your fingertips. But this looks pretty pimp. I think my daughter needs to get this for her birthday so that I can play it.
Is
the first thing that I'm thinking about.
Yes.
That'll go really nicely in the basement, and there's some nostalgia in there. So.
It's
great parents like.
I'm gonna see. I could bring my. I'm gonna see what because I know I have. I know, but
we could put one in the.
The problem is, I think it's beat up a little bit. I'm gonna check it out because There's
a really big open space to our right. Foosball table.
It'd be too loud. Too loud.
Yeah, Brendan would probably hate that. Let's go to Sia.
Brendan.
Very good idea, Neil. I absolutely agree with you on that. But we're going to quickly jump into this. So the ISM manufacturing PMI came out 10 a.m. today, previous standing at 48.2, forecasted at 48, and the current number came out at 47.9. Going to take a look at a couple headlines for today. Defense stocks are soaring after the U.S. strike in Venezuela. European and Asian defense stocks were soaring higher today after Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro was captured. But also in the U.S. fighter jets, Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman both went up by 2%. And also, another thing to note is the iShares U.S. Aerospace and Defense ETF was up more than 1% earlier today and currently is up almost 2%. Crude prices are also rising after the president was captured. U.S. crude oil has risen 1.54% to 58.20 per barrel as of 11 a.m. today. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Saturday that the U.S. embargo of Venezuelan oil will still remain in place. And since Chevron is the only U.S. major oil company operating in Venezuela, the company was exporting around 140,000 BPD at the end of the fourth quarter of 2025. CVX's stock currently is up almost 6%. That's all, and back to the guys.
Okay, thank you very much. See, as the market just continues to, let's go bearish. Which bear is this? And that's not the one I like this one. Rawr. All right, so yeah, man, we're now almost $2 in the money on this NVIDIA. NVIDIA was the easiest trade of the day because it showed its colors real early. And it was just, we kept on buying it, it wouldn't go, bounced off VWAP, got to it again, and then crack lower. And we just waited our time for it to find. I mean, if I wasn't here, I would have been short here too, which that might have not, I mean, it would have worked, and then it would have came back up. And we did get stopped out when we reshorted NVIDIA right there. And then once it broke back through 188, we could just put on our patient hat there and got patient with it all the way to the downside. We just covered some 186.30s right there as well on NVDA as that gets a little bit lower. Breaking news with Adara, who's back on the desk.
Keep an eye here, guys, on MSOS. Nice pop to the upside after the marijuana moment reports that congressional leaders have dropped their attempts to block marijuana rescheduling. Again, looks like according to the marijuana moment, congressional leaders are no longer attempting to block the rescheduling of marijuana. And we have MSOS pushing to the upside. Other stocks you could check here include Tilray, TLRY. That's what this one looks like. CGC, Canopy Growth Corp, also pushing higher, and ACB, Aurora Cannabis, amongst others. As you can see, all of these, including MSOS, pushing higher on this news. Back to you.
Right.
That'd have been a lot cooler. I was trying to scramble because I knew it was MSOS. I was trying to scramble for that button so with time when Adara came in, but it was too quick. But
was it? Okay.
No, like this might be. I think this is what Brian was looking for. Just any kind of catalyst that could push this back through a $5 for a break on MSOS in particular. Because we had Brian Shannon on last week. Well, I guess we'll have him on tomorrow.
We will not, actually.
Oh, he's not going to be on? Okay,
No.
So we'll probably have him on next week, and we can follow up on this. Maybe we've already broken through the $5 level here on MSOS. But this move, this isn't going to be enough. It's not going to cut it. Good relief rally for a little bit, but as you can very clearly see here, you want this $5 break on MSOS. So I'm with that trade if and when it ever does happen. Maybe this week. I don't know. I guess it's not going to be, look, it's not going to be today. You would think there'd be a chance, but I don't think so. So I'm going to look for this low of the day. If we bounce off LOD, one of the reasons why Intel bounced before is it's actually bouncing off Friday's close. So it tried to go red, resisted going red, and bounced. If it does it a second time, then I'm going to jump out, and I'm looking to short the pop back into the morning range high, which is back into here at 39.6. Ooh, we just got a super chat. Let me try to throw that one up on the board because it's Nick.
What up, Nick?
Dubs. What up, Nick?
What's good, Nick?
Thoughts on TMC? You like the long swing to the upside? You know what's interesting? I mean, forget about like all this Foxconn and positive news about TMC. How about some of the reason why it's so strong was if you went in there and went after one proxy, does that give a little bit more strength to the Taiwanese name and like in its own sense? I think most of this is going to be. I think most of this is just going to be. Let's be real. I like so much of the commodities out there, and I think if there's any further turmoil, like if this is a one-off, like I think you were already looking pretty strong in commodities, but if there's any further turmoil and it's all about resources, like that's what Venezuela is about. Is that going to mean elsewhere? Like this is why all the Greenland talk, right? Because they're resource heavily. So I think anything adjacent to that, whether there's more action or not, there's certainly a theme that's going to give some strength. Now, for the next couple of days, what I said about MSOS at $5, apply that to TMC at $8, like $8 in here. Look at all the resistance. I think that's your breakaway level. So I think it's worth a look. No questions asked, and good volume in here today. Maybe not much of a day trade this afternoon because you've already had the VWAP bounce. But yeah, worth watching it at $8. And if you get any more turmoil anywhere, and I'm not saying anything's going to happen in Greenland. I'm just saying. if this theme this year is going to be resources, then this should be a stock on your radar as well.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stocks. Let's see what winds up happening, because there's still the Ukraine stuff, and there's a whole bunch of stuff need to be settled out here. And we'll have to wait to see exactly what Venezuela means to the United States and how they decide to deal, you know, with basically running another country, and how that looks like, and getting the independence back there for the people of Venezuela. So should be an interesting year, I think, needless to say. We just might have made the bottom. So the Qs just went into the low of the day again. And yeah, that's twice now. We've basically bounced off 53.40 or so. So, you know, we're going to cover that. And we took that little last wick there to the bottom. We were actually waiting at 25s. It only goes to 35. So we weren't there. So we get a 45 on the way back up there, and just say, you know what, we miss that ultimate bottom tail there, and just cover more and more and more. And I'm still going to use 53.6. Actually, I was at the 200 period, so let's just cancel our current stop, which is at 54 flat, and now let's change it. So that's the 50 period moving average. We'll see. I mean, this looked pretty good, right? When we broke the first time, you wouldn't have got out until right into here, which turned out to be would have been a bad out, but there's the move down. Then you would have covered more there, and then I guess covered there. So let's use this as our cover spot on the way back up. That's 53.60. So we'll put in a stop right now into this. It's getting close, 53.66. Let's just give it that. And we'll stop out of it all. If it goes back there to the upside, I think that's pretty reasonable to acknowledge a stop out if we go into those levels and break just a little bit higher through there. And then Nvidia, lighter and lighter on Nvidia, man. I mean, that got to 186. Like, I don't know what else we really expect from this trade. There is CES today at 4 p.m., so we are expecting them to have a little bit of a move back down, or at least a move at 4 o'clock when Jensen hits the podium, and then just starts talking hopefully about new innovations and maybe some new names that are using his chips, some different companies that are now invested in using either the H200s or whatever. And it's expected that he's going to talk about RAM prices and how high those have flown, and then possibly talking about, because RAM is a big part of GPUs, kicking up some of the prices of their most recent offerings by NVIDIA, which I think is not helping Micron today, but helping the move down on NVIDIA and on Micron, right? If NVIDIA lowers their demand expectations, that's not going to be a good sign for Micron. It's not going to be a good sign for SanDisk. It's not going to be a good sign for Western Digital. Oops. Not Walker, whatever that was, Walker Texas Ranger. This is Western Digital right here. Yeah, classic show there.
Watch that show?
Chuck Norris. Yeah. Any show that has Chuck Norris. I mean, my mother used to love watching Walker Texas Rangers, and we watched that together for a minute there. But yeah, Western Digital down, as well as, yeah, maybe this is getting just a little bit more expensive due to cost of what these NVIDIA chips may wind up looking like. So
it's hilarious. Like, whatever that Walker stock is, actually,
WD?
Yeah, it's whatever it is, it's actually trying to move.
Oh, like Walker and Clay or something?
I don't know much about it, but I can tell you.
Walker and Dunlop.
WDC, SNDK. I know everyone's talking about the next wave to the upside, but that might have been a temporary turn on SNDK. It literally wicked the high today and did a pullback. Like, I'm looking, I said if this happened, I'm looking back into the trade the next day. So tomorrow, this is the confirmation you're waiting for. Like, there's that topping tail candle at the high. So I'm kind of bearish on this, at least. I know we got CS and everything, but starting tomorrow, I'm going to look for a little continuation pullback here on SNDK. Let's go to the desk with Adara.
I want to talk here about CES 2026. As Sean and Neil mentioned, we are going to be having some events tonight. Jensen Huang keynote, or what they're calling a special address, from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Intel doing their Panther Lake launch event. That's going to take place from 6 to 7. And then much later, Dr. Lisa Su, CEO of AMD, taking the stage for a keynote at 9:30 to 10:45 p.m. So definitely check this calendar out here on X at TTV Research. I'm going to be dropping a link in our show chat right now, but as you can see, this is just like a publicly traded company calendar, so this isn't the full calendar. Tomorrow, we're going to have a Mobileye event right after the close, so you might want to watch Intel with that as well. Then Wednesday, we're going to get Caterpillar during the day from 12 to 1 p.m. After the bell, we'll get an event with Qualcomm, Adobe, and HP, and then throughout the week. We're going to have the show floor highlights. I have another infographic specifically about the show floor that's going to post tomorrow ahead of when the floor opens. But Rich Tech, Mobileye, and Serve Robotics all on watch for the show floor this week as well. Before we send you over to Sean and Neil, I'm going to take a moment to thank our friends at Global X. Because savvy Canadian traders looking to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 with their Beta Pro 3X daily leveraged ETFs, which feature built-in FX hedging. This aims to amplify short-term market moves and minimizing the impact of currency swings. So whether you are feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara, for that one.
Yes, sir.
You have a thank you, Adara button.
Danaher.
For that one. What was that one stock, MNTS, that blew through $1? No, it was DVLT. Momentous was the stock, but the DVLT was the one that blew through the dollar. We can have a double check on that one. Momentous, again, comes right up into $11. This top, we have never closed above 950. So, you know, if you're going to look for a number where Momentous may target into that close, 950, and you can zoom all the way back out, man. You can go all the way back to last year, well, January, last year, right there where we had touched out in and around here on Momentous as well. So, there it goes. Upside play recently on MNTS and just running into other levels here of concern. That's for sure on MNTS. So just look out here. Maybe there's something to talk about eventually on Momentous. But coming into that 950. And then this is DataVault, DVLT, which gets the news today and breaks back above that dollar. There was a story, we talked about it on the rundown, but I can't remember exactly what it was, but there goes DataVault today, huge amount of volume, and breaking above $1. We'll see if it holds it. My guess is no on that. We'll just see tomorrow. That would be your out, right? That is also where the 200 period moving average is, by the way, here. If I zoom out, I'm sure, maybe that doesn't even have 200 days, but right there, $1 or so, the spot. So we had tried to break it before, lasted just a day or so before getting hit back down. Today is that day. So if it's going to peace out like it has in the past, we should be on the way back down in the next little while on DVLT. So don't get caught with your tail between your leg on this one. If you do have a long on DataVault, make sure you do take something out, I would say, on this name. It's just in the past, man. That's all we can do is show you what it's done in the past. It's been up here before and gotten hit back in. So just be careful on DVLT for your momentum trading today. DataVault. Nicely cooking there. We are about to get, and I'm going to throw it over. We'll get some more ideas cooking in a second, but I'm about to get out of all of these names if we break above the 50 period. So we're pretty close there on Nvidia. And the TQs, we already talked about that. That's in the 60s. So that's getting closer. Maybe I'll take another bid here at 49. Just sort of, okay, there we go. I'm also bidding 40s. See if we can get something out on that end of it as well. But yeah, so far so good here. Let's see if we can get a little bit better though on the shorts. I don't know. What are you in? Okay, good.
I'm about to trail out because I think it's just a little bit of a bounce here. As I said, Intel has resisted from going green to red already once today. It just ticked into the red, so it gets into the low of the day. If it breaks back above, it's about 39.42. I'm going to trail out. Look for a re-entry if I can get it. I do have some eyes on IBIT, and don't at me. I was only long IBIT today, but you know when you look at where we're at. We kind of made the move all the way back to the 50 period on the daily. Resistance at, it's like 53.8 on IBIT. On Bitcoin, it's just a little bit above 94K. So call it 94.3, 94.4, I believe is the actual level. So that resistance has been pretty real on this daily chart, and that's more or less where we've triple topped. And now you're finally getting, it's higher. It's been higher lows, but you just broke one of those supports. So I'm kind of looking short IBIT here with like a 59, maybe 56, 57 stop in this consolidation to play back into VWAP because you did triple top that. And I said this morning, I like the long going into that level, but if it showed a setup short, I wanted to play the short on Bitcoin back into the volume weighted average price. So that's what I'm going to look for here. And again, sometimes you can like the long up into a certain point. Then after that point, I'm going to start looking for the short. The same way, Intel was a long early and then it turned into a short. I think IBIT, I'm just looking for this turnaround in the volume weighted average price. Still think Bitcoin. Let me just go to I want to go to a daily chart because I still kind of believe that even if you take out 94.4, I have some eyeballs on this former trend line, which it was a little closer to 97. unless this prior support that's turned into resistance gets broken, I'll still always be somewhat skeptical of a bigger and more explosive up move. So a great day on IBIT today, but I'm looking at the short now back into the volume-weighted average price. As we're starting to pull back, and realistically, this is one that's kind of breaking that upward trend that it had all day, really, from the open. This has been pretty strong. Not so much all of those treasury names, unfortunately, but Bitcoin's been holding its own. Just looking for that turn now.
Yeah, I mean, I like Bitcoin here. I mean, it was one of the #1 ideas that we had written down on our list today. We had IBIT long, we had Intel long. We lost on it. Intel's my worst stock today. We had the Qs long, we're short now. We had Oscar written on here for, we haven't looked at that. I thought it was up 10 or 15% so far, 12%, so between 10 and 15 almost exactly. Yeah, Oscar at day's high. We should have just, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Easy to say we should have just bought the open there on Oscar, but we wanted to be a little more patient, and we wrote down $15. And was it 15 or 15.25? 15 long. So yeah, okay. So it only wicks down to 15.40. Either way, whatever we wrote doesn't get it. We were just hoping for this 200 period moving average on an upgrade from Barclays there for Oscar Health. So this is a good name. I'm in this name. And let's just see where it goes. We were lucky enough to get something out north of $20, and then actually loaded it up again down into here, let it go up, didn't do anything, and now we're still in this name. So Oscar, a name that I hold long right now. I also hold Samsara long. I like the Internet of Things here. That hasn't really worked out. That actually got to $45 and then came back in. So relatively small position on IoT. That's actually coming quite nicely. There it is right there. Wow. Crazy recovery there on IoT, so watch out for Samsara. Not trying to make money, but not. And then Big Bear AI, I gave a bull case there on Thursday, Friday of last week, saying how much I like this stock. And yeah, there it goes off of 550 again. It's a 200 period moving average. So Big Bear AI, with just a couple days from hitting its 200 period moving average, bouncing once again, technically, really doing well to the upside there on Big Bear AI. And again, it's the airport scanners and things like that that these guys are all about, and just airport security, and with FIFA and with World Cup, hopefully getting a few more orders in for Big Bear AI, and they can show a nice little turnaround on their next quarter. So we'll have to wait to see what Big Bear AI is doing. Tesla today, that's been one of the stronger names, and I actually said that earlier, that this could have been a trade. Breaking the high of the day on Tesla, 446. That was a great one, man. It broke it, went up to 448, came back in, hit VWAP, and then nothing but upside. And look how much it's been since upside. It's been VWAP, it's been VWAP, it's been VWAP again. So we do have a super chat. We could throw it up there, Andre, if you want.
Oh, I love this one, David. This was good on Friday if you picked it up. Catherine Duddy texted me, best trade of the day, AVAV and KTOS, very clean moves. Dave approved. Well, I approve AVAV, because what were we saying on Friday? Look, man, if I knew there was going to be this action I would have done the poly market thing, man. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have been, I would have done some other stuff. AVAV is just my preferred drone play this year, and it bounced off the 200 period. So, that was it. It bounced 200 period. I was like, I'm buying this sucker. We said this on Friday just because of that. That was the reason. It's basically blind luck that this happened, because it's up 17% because of the Venezuela action. Just any defense stock would have worked for you if you pulled the trigger on it. But I'm an absolute fan here. I think they're going to be one of the standard plays and maybe a safer play in the drone space. And then when you think about how much it's already given back, the fact that it gave you a 200 period bounce, I'm with you on that one, David. KTOS, certainly another one. Kratos, another good one in the space. You're going to be up double digits here as well. So you almost couldn't have gone wrong after what happened over the weekend, but they were both good technical trades. One 200 period, this one was a 50 period bounce. So, congratulations to you, David. Was that, I believe we're going to the desk with Sia? Yep. Oh, okay.
So sorry, I don't know what happened there. Crypto will happen later, but we're going to dive into small cap for now. If you're missing the green lushness of the summer, Don't worry, the Russell has got you covered. Take a look at the board. It's all green today. I'm loving that. Russell is up almost 2%. Let's dive into a couple individual tickers for now. BE is up almost 6% today. UMBF is up almost 3%. But I would also like to talk about Bridge Biopharma, BBIO, is having a bad day. Stock is down 7%, but the company will be presenting at the 44th annual JP Morgan Healthcare Conference in San Francisco on Monday, 12th of January, around 7:30 a.m. Also taking a quick look at Fluor Corporation is up almost 7%. The company will be holding a conference call which will be accessible to the public on the 17th of February to discuss and review for its fourth quarter that ended on the 31st of December of 2025. The financial results will be released before the market opens on that day. And we're also going to take a quick look at the S&P, the sector for today. As we discussed, Tesla is doing great. Electric tech not looking the best as of right now. But I do want to quickly talk about Amazon in particular. Amazon has launched as of today Alexa.com. So Alexa.com is going to, obviously this is going to be a competitor to OpenAI's ChatGPT, but I'm really excited to see what this offers. And I myself am going to start using this. And I'm going to explore this for sure as of today. But I'm really excited. So you can basically access Alexa Plus on your browser, dive deep into the topics, and it's basically going to pick up on your conversations right over here, just like ChatGPT. And you can pick up where you left off. That's one of the features. It's like connected to the Alexa app. It's going to be available on all your devices, and you can just access Alexa from your browser, and you don't need to have a Alexa machine right next to you. I don't know if I said that right. Okay, that's all. Back to the guys.
That's how they're gonna, the only thing that's going to result in is spending more money through Amazon. No, I'm being dead honest. Like if I'm on Amazon Prime now, and you know they have the ads and stuff, right? Like so, if you don't, you know, if you're watching some of the ads, like it'll come up before the show, and then all of a sudden it's just like the little thing in the corner comes if you would like more information or to purchase this, and just make it so easy. It's just way too easy. Unfortunately, I have some bad news for the small cappers out there. Didn't mean to jinx Momentous when it got brought up the other day, but the Momentous is now halted to the downside.
Okay, we were just talking about it.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? It was, it was underneath VWAP anyway, so I don't think I don't think anyone was that bullish on underneath VWAP. But the tap is it's actually very ugly. What? So the tap was just 7. Oh, now the tap is 708. So halted down at 798, the auction price open is indicating a 708 open. So it just dropped $1 and is indicating it's going to drop another $1. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like that's a jinx sometimes when we bring these names up. So
maybe. Well,
good luck if you happen to be there. I trailed out of Intel. I'll show you that one in a quick second, but I did jump into that IBIT for that lower high play. We could still play off the top, but I'm going to go for the lower high short only if it comes in again over there on IBIT. And then Intel, while we were talking about other things, I said I was going to trail it out if it broke. It broke that top. It's still at the low of the day, so it's still heading to the downside. I want the short to come in a little bit higher, though. Like if we I want a short only pops in here, like significant. Like I don't want it to go up like 5 cents or so. I want to get a significant pop to try to come back in. As long as it's underneath Friday's high, that was kind of that turning point, and then play inside of the range, at least for now. Oh, that's what it was. That makes more sense, Joseph Burch. MNTS, I didn't see this.
It's $5.40.
Yeah, it's $5.40 offering,
it's there.
Which would explain why it's going to go down that far. That could provide an opportunity, because at least when you're down because of an offering, it gives you a shot to maybe catch a bid if it reverses the entire move, because it was basically at these prices, like that 540 was where you spent most of the day on Friday. So if it does head all the way down there, it gives you a bit of a bounce spot. Kind of wishing I'd paid for locates on this thing, because my guess is it could open up, maybe try to find its way close to at least about $6, if not even that 540 altogether. So now 728 is what it's saying, but still to the downside here in MNTS with that offering. Intraday offerings are never nice, but they're a good reason why you should use stop orders, especially on some of these small cappers.
Yeah, I'm trying to cover some of these shorts that I do have on, and we were talking about the ARKQ. This is why I'm invested in it, is to get a piece of all of that. So thank you to David. There's K-Toast. So I'm into that. And there's your AV. I just bring it to people's attention in case it is a name or something that you guys are interested in, as am I, right here. So this is part of the reason why that ETF that I'm in continues to march higher. And I didn't even, we went over this. We got Archer, so it's a little Palantir. I'm already loaded on that one, but we've got some good looks here on what is owned in this ARKQ, which is a robotics ETF brought to you by Cathie Wood. So that's just something there if you guys are interested in doing that. And of course, Tesla, big holding there. The number one, I think I just saw. I ignored it because it was Tesla. Yeah, Tesla, the number one holding in this as well. And this is what it looks like, man. This is the ARKQ. So we just being a little educated about, the robotics. As soon as we heard that story, I actually punched right into the pre-market. No, I think I bought market on open that day, and you can see the robotics ETF ARKQ getting higher right now as he got all those names invested into one space there. Pay Cathie to manage it for you, and the rest is history. All right, because NVIDIA is kind of just hovering around right now, we haven't done anything in 25 minutes on NVIDIA where we got 30, so let's get 50s. So we do take a piece right there. We got 64 right there, and then the same thing with these TQs. Haven't done anything in a minute, so I'm waiting on the bid right here. This is where I'm bidding 50 on the TQs, hoping to get, it has to run through, I'm using ARCA, so it has to run through me here, and we will be able to grab that soon. 50 coming into play there on the TQQ. So hopefully we can grab that one. All right, so Google might be at a spot right here. It's showing up on one of my scanners. Yeah, just I guess just these low takes right there. And then also on the 50 period, the 200 period moving average right now as well is Google. So a possible trade down there on Google. I did put in another bid a little bit lower here to get some more Netflix. So if Netflix, excuse me. Oh, there we go. We get that bid on the futures. We get that bid on Nvidia right now as we just ticked a little bit lower. But for me on Netflix, I mean, we can call it up on a little bit of a larger scale here on e-signal because it just works better over here. We don't have the, unfortunately, our charting does not have the look that we need. Yeah, sorry, the split adjusted look on that. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, coming into $90. So I just think that this is a decent area there for me to possibly look at for some Netflix at those levels. So I'm going to try to dip by a little bit more into there as the deal is still what the deal is, and they should be able to take on Time Warner and grab that into their portfolio. So we'll Warner Brothers, and we'll Time Warner Brothers. We'll see if that continues to hold. But then, that ultimate bottom, saving some sort of arrows in the quiver for an 84 or so area there on Netflix, because you never know, right? I mean, the market's holding out okay today, but as you've seen, when a stock falls out of favor, like in Nvidia today, there is no basement, and some of these names can continue to go lower. But AMD, people saying hold that short. Well, I've been holding this Nvidia short, and Nvidia's been great. It's going to be my number 2 P&L name today. But yeah, hold the AMD short too. Looks great, man. That 231 down into 220. The only thing is you're at 220. Generally speaking, a good area of concern, the 20, like an even dollar area. So I could see it bouncing off 220, which it already did. Pretty clean there. Well, 220.50, but bouncing off 220 is a thought of mine for AMD. So just be careful there. And then obviously with the Nvidia trade that we have on board right now, still getting lower, but a bunch of outs. So yeah, we're in the power hour now. I don't think we're expecting too many crazy imbalances today or anything like that, but there's CVE, so we get a little energy.
You can see some weird stuff. I would expect to see some energy imbalances, maybe one or two.
Yeah, we do. We have RIG on there as well. Nubank made new highs today. This is a name that I have as well in the portfolio. South American exposure, new holdings there. Once called by our good friend Warren Buffett, the SOFI of South America.
Did you say Brazil?
It was South America, but it is located there in Brazil. BMNR on the sell side right there as well, so that could be something. Toast, yeah, Toast, what a disaster. You know what, man?
That was a bad IPO.
You guys could all follow.
Was it?
Nah, man, it's my guy Josh Brown there, who just now is just a pumper. But there this goes, man. Toast. Like to hear what this. Let me guess, he's probably out here at $50. But at the end of the day, this is a name that keeps on getting pumped by Josh Brown as well as Pfizer. So if you guys are sitting in those names, congratulations. But we'll see if I don't mind Toast here. That is a the organization of restaurants, order taking, bills, all that kind of stuff. So toast definitely looks like it's toast right now, breaking below the 200, below the 50, and keeps on going just a little bit lower. So, just wait for the next time you see Josh Brown on halftime, and then he'll either talk about toast to try to get it up or Pfizer. So get ready for those. But anyways, toast, yeah, it was on the imbalance there. So interesting.
Which you don't usually see. I wonder if it's, what I didn't do this morning? I didn't really
burnt
go over,
toast. That's
look
a good
at
one.
any of the indexes to see if we're supposed to see any action today. But you know what? Just because it happened here, I do also point out when a death cross works. There it is. I don't only criticize that setup. I just think that when that setup turns into a technical breakout long, it gives a little bit more juice. But that actually, when this death crossed, that's about literally as perfect as it could be. If you shorted that the day after, it was resistance instantaneously at 39 bucks on toast. So I'd watch out for that level. But yeah, the imbalance is, I'd say a little bit disappointing, but it's only 310. I'd expect that you might see not just energy names, but I would look for maybe even some defense names as well. They could be picking up. One of which, all right, so here's Halliburton is a name that's held VWAP pretty cleanly. It just bounced off VWAP. Now, ultimately, I'm going to show you, like it's where I was long it before, but it's a clean bounce off VWAP, and then for now a higher low off about 32.40 here. So I want to see this hold on. If it can hold on to 39.4. Kind of a reversal candle. I don't necessarily love that. So I'd like it to see show some green here, but up 9% and better than Chevron and better than XOM. And I think that's sort of one of the themes that you'll see coming away from this weekend is there were a lot of maybe not direct oil producing names that were really the strongest. And sometimes it does have to do, you have to look on the outside and you might see some of those start to pop up where, when was the last time anybody was talking about Halliburton? Like this stock is, I mean, let's be real. Halliburton has stunk for a while, like a really long while. Like it spent all of last year kind of at the bottom, and then it spent all of 2024 like falling like an absolute rock. This had broken trend and was already trying to break out. So I think this is going to be good for a hot minute here on Halliburton. But right now, I'm going to look for this VWAP bounce if we can get back in to the volume weighted average price, or we can just break this consolidation. Lots of strength in that bad boy. Visionary Tree asks about two names that I think if you're talking defense names like I just said, Boeing and Lockheed. I'll take Boeing over Lockheed, but I think they can both work. That being said, the stock I told you the stock I recently bought was AVAV. I thought a more direct drone play. I didn't own it before. I still own Boeing, so I just chose something I wanted to get into that's new. But I wouldn't take anything away from what's going on in Boeing. This is, I know it's already gone 50, 60 bucks here, but it's just approaching a good double top. And let me just take advantage of eSignal because I want to quickly throw up a monthly chart if I can on Boeing, just so you can get a bit of, like this is the monthly chart on Boeing. It could get, I understand it might have some trouble at the 265 to 280 area where there's resistance, but man, look at that hold to the low. Look at the higher low. Look at above both major moving averages on the monthly chart, and then you're kind of working yourself into a breakout of 240. Like you open above 240 next month or March, whatever. Maybe it'll be after earnings. I can't predict when, but when it does happen, I think there's some explosive upside in Boeing. I just kind of liked AVAV as more of a pure drone play, but I think you got a good one here with Boeing and. Like I said, nothing against Lockheed Martin. I just kind of a similar breakout, I suppose, here on Lockheed. You can't go wrong with the defense stock today. Let's be real. But there's been stronger ones. I think the drone plays have just been much better here today than sort of the traditional names. And I also like Raytheon over both those names if you're going strict defense.
Okay, so yeah, I was I bought Boeing at 200 bucks. So we just like Neil was adding to the position. I know AV is a new one for you, but yeah, I don't mind Boeing. We do have Joby and all these guys starting to report or show up at CES, JOBY, show up at CES. So there's something there for Joby. And there this name goes as well. So like there's so many opportunities across many markets to trade many different names, and Joby, there it goes as well. And it's been hit for a while, and just giving you that $13 long and back up to the upside. Archer, Joby, all these kind of plays there continue to go up. So with CES today, so Consumer Electronics Show happening in Vegas, would always thought I would like to go to that, but I think now it's a little over my head. I kind of would like to go to it to see like the cool TVs and phones and all that. Now it's just like there's so much to deal with, but I think it would be kind of cool to see some of the innovations there, including whatever winds up happening with some of these helicopters and things like that. Because now you can fly from like Brooklyn to Manhattan and back and forth, and Jersey, and I think there's going to be some interesting things there with Uber and whatnot as well. So
you would imagine someone's there's so many available ways now. You don't have to be at an event like that. You can sort of consume it through someone else's walkthrough. Cool to be able to do that. I'm sure someone has that virtually by now as well.
For sure. There's probably live stuff at CES,
live walkthroughs.
Right? Yeah.
Some of that stuff.
My kids love still putting on the Oculus and walking around and doing all that, although they keep on going back to the elevator game where you have to walk out on a plank. Oh yeah, I should bring that in. I said I would bring that in actually.
And then we'd all like see how.
Yeah, we embarrass ourselves. That would be kind of fun to do that actually on live. I don't know what you are about heights.
Okay, so here's.
I still feel like I'm there.
I'm not.
I cannot.
Like I'm not it's a weird thing. Like I'm not afraid of heights, but there's something about the void that gets me. Like if I'm high up. Like here's the example. You know when you take what do they call the cable car?
Trolley.
In a cable car that's like swinging around. You think that'd be freaky? Like I'll be really chill on that.
Yeah, because
put me at the top of like a hill and
looking
standing
down
on a cliff where there's no barrier, and that void is like
no barrier.
That a little crazier. But if I'm just in something safe, I'm like, what?
Okay, then I'm gonna see if I can bring.
But I feel like that void will get me. Like I'll probably be like, what the heck? There's nothing under.
Like you know that you're in the studio. You know you're in your house or the kitchen or your living room or wherever you are. But you put on this Oculus and it acts as if like you hear the wind blowing and you don't. I don't know. For me, it's a lot. I just think it'd be kind of cool.
My only question, as long as it doesn't. Because I've had some. Get older, man.
Yeah, vertigo.
Some vertigo issues.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It'll mess you up.
Like if it does mess me up,
it will.
Watch a brother pass out here.
Well, we're not going to be doing anything that crazy, but no. Neil, it will mess you up. That's the thing. We'll have to watch out.
I like trying.
You can take it off. That's the thing.
I like trying new things.
Yeah. Like you're not. You could literally just take it off, but it's tough. So we'll bring that in. I think that'd be funny for sure if we were able to do that live here. Okay, just again, we talked about DVLT trying to close near that $1.50 again, so watch out now. You're forewarned, and again, everybody trade their own books. Neil and I aren't the ones here to tell you what's right or what's wrong for you guys, but we've seen DVLT. If you just sort of zoom back out, I just want to show it to everybody. This $1.50 area right into here, man. It's been here before, and downside closed there. Nice move there, went to the downside, nice pop there, went back to the downside. Now, sure, you got some extensions. It's not to say this is not possible that we get going again on DVLT, but here you go right again, right into this area. So I was just going to say, like, maybe you want to get out of something and then hold for that dream. Data Vault could go tomorrow on a deal. Thank you to T Money there in the chat, brought the news to us on DVLT there. So we'll have to wait to see if that continues to work out. I really like Marvell, again, another name to look at, bouncing off $90. We'll look at the $90 mark tomorrow. I'm not sure it's going to come in today, but if it does, I like Marvell down there at $90. Coming into one more time there for MRVL. If there's any other names, SMR, what happened? Did it fall down again or is it just going up? Is that why? Yeah, SMR. What's up with that? Up to $19. Yeah, no, it's going higher. No problem with SMR. Look, I heard Joe mention this, and I know we all talk like this too. It's that what goes up doesn't necessarily always come down, but you can't be surprised when you start ticking up and you fall back in 50 or 60 cents. We can't wave the white towel too much on this stock. And if you're going to do it, that's why we have something called VWAP right here, the volume weighted average price. And what this blue line will tell you, which is this line right here, this line will tell you if the stock is trading above or below its daily volume. and what prices are associated with that. And that gives you right now 1860. Above there, the Bulls win. Below there, the Bears win. So if you're going to really worry about this stock, I don't think it's a spot to do that until you get closer to VWAP. And then you say, okay, you know, the day started down here, 1750, 1780. We did have a nice move down into 1750 where it was bought up at the 200 period moving average, bought up again at VWAP right there, bought up again at VWAP, bought up again at VWAP. So I don't think you panic until you break that. But if you're looking for trend trading, you know, this is the 50 period moving average. Now, you ride it all the way up, and then you basically broke it right there at 1930, and you get another attempt right there at 1930 again, basically, to get out of your trade. So now you've broken lower. So I would say if you're in this name for momentum, the momentum is a little gone now. If anything, it is to the downside on SMR. Wait for VWAP or wait for the 200 to get back in to SMR right now. Because see, when it broke right here, you did have a nice move. I can't see, my face is in the way there. Once it breaks the, thanks to Andre, when it breaks the 50 period right there, it does make a move into VWAP before getting bought back up. So going to be opportunities for you guys in Sam Michael Roberts SMR. And then Oklo, for me, I just thought because it was bouncing off of the 200 period moving average Thursday or Friday is when we talked about this name, and the 200 period is going to be right here. That's why I liked it. Let's see, go. Okay, there it is. Boom. So this will be the recommendation that I made on Thursday or Friday. And I didn't buy the name, but just in the space, just looked a little safer because you had some coverage there of your 200 period moving average. But yeah, man, so far so good here today. Slow though, but very, very specific in what we're doing. Intel, the loser, and everything else is flat to up.
You know what else bounced off the 200 period moving average? MP material bounced clean off of that as well. Like, you've seen a lot of these, as Sean was saying, what goes up must come down. Like, you can't be surprised if it's parabolic up, that it's a nasty move down, but you can be patient about where you buy into it. Thankfully, it ends up breaking out to the price that I already bought the first time. But this is one I'm looking to add to it this year. I didn't pull the trigger because, well, I bought AVAV on Friday, and this one was I had to pick between the two. One of them I didn't own, so I'm going to get into it. But I think as we're talking about the commodities and it being I don't want to call it a commodity war this year, but it kind of might be, where everyone's looking to secure resources. Like, there's a big concern about power. There's concerns about input costs, and sort of solidifying that to make sure your economy grows is going to be a big theme. We already saw the start of that this weekend, and it's been ongoing for a while. So I don't think that's a theme that is going anywhere in the short term. I also promised that I would look to see if there were any index actions at the end of the day. The only one is just that there's that Versant Media was that spinoff. It's supposed to be I think it's supposed to be an upweight today. So it was a spinoff, really dumped. It was probably like a hedge where they went down, and where they went down, the other name went to the upside. But I think it's very likely this will have an imbalance, though it's going to be tricky because it'll be an upweight from one index and a downweight in another. So that could be a little bit very, very tricky. But right now it's just CVE still with about 25 minutes to go till the imbalances come out. As Sean said, BMNR, Toast, RIG, SMR, NU are the ones to watch. Of those, I feel like NU is going to be the biggest one. But unfortunately, what looked like a potential setup is turning into no, Halliburton is not holding VWAP. It just broke the volume-weighted average price. It did find support at 32 before, so maybe I can wait for a bounce off 32, but that's still backsliding here. Up 9%, but as I said, it's backsliding. Want to see it above VWAP, or at least maybe breaking this little trend here. If it can do that, give me a reason to get into it for one last salvo on the day. So there's a lot of things that have moved, but just because they were bullish in the morning doesn't mean they're bullish now. I'm only chuckling because I pull up Halliburton and someone's like, Tyrese Halliburton. Huh. It's like, yeah.
Indianapolis Pacers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unfortunate injuries at the end of last year.
Yeah, Tatum is hurt still, right?
Yeah, it was it was disappointing because, like, there's no worse way than to go down. Like, if a playoff team loses a big player, like, right at the end of the year. And the difference between the NBA and other sports is, like, the NBA is literally star-driven.
Oh, that's it. That's
like
the only thing they have, and then they sit when they don't feel like playing.
NFL teams, like even like in most sports, you can rally around losing. Even like maybe not the starting quarterback, but you see these situations where a couple of big guys go down, and you can rally around for a couple of games. Like good coaching and scheming to make it work. In the NBA, man, you lose. I remember, and I was not one of those people that was cheering when KD went down against the Raptors in the finals, but I remember the game that he started out having and being like, "We're screwed." Because you just a feeling that he was, you couldn't guard him that day. Yeah. And then the second he got hurt, I was like, man, I don't want to see any star get hurt. But the second he got hurt, you're like, we're going to win this now. It was just one of those situations. But I hate to see star players go down. Like I dread the moment.
Especially with the way they're paid these days.
Man, this guy,
too.
He never misses a game, but like, I don't even see a remote possibility. Like,
Bills
are what, a 6-7 win team without that guy? Maybe even less. I'd like to hope it's.
You guys are the Jets.
We're not the Jets without him.
Okay.
The Jets?
Have Garrett Wilson.
Come on, give me Miami at least. We're not the Jets.
Okay, I'll give you Miami either way.
At least give
unfortunately, I can't show this on our chat because I can't find it on there. But I just opened it now. But can you please show your TQQ short? So what's up, Kunal? Thank you so much for the message there. So basically on this move up, I got here. I'll show. Oops, not even on the stock. I got stopped out on all these breaks higher there. Unfortunately, I didn't adjust. That was always the 50 period, and it was just 53.60 if you guys remember. Yeah, it wasn't not much going on here on the Qs actually today. We tried that long the first time when it dripped into VWAP at that time. We got out. We should have held it against 200, but we didn't, and then it kind of popped. So the long was basically a pretty epic fail by me right there. And then, just my opinion was to go short the futures once we gave up VWAP and we traveled around here. I started a little bit too early. I never take, just so you guys know, in the middle of the day, we need to either be at VWAP or at the 200 for me to actually start dancing with something. And I'll show it to you on NVIDIA if you want. But this was a much bigger trade, so we just kind of average it in there because I don't know where it's going. Like, I didn't even take any out when this came back in. These are 5-cent areas. This is nothing. That's 71, and that bottom is 65. So that's only 5 cents, but then it ripped up into VWAP where we really started to go short there, basically against VWAP or against that high of 90, and then it just bled down. So that short is 80s there against 90, so that was about 10 cents worth of risk. And yeah, then we got much more than 10 cents. That's 80s there, that's 40. So we got about 40 cents, and it didn't really play out. I mean, sometimes the Nasdaq will really tank in, and so where did we cover, man? A bunch of covers right there, and then I think I told you I had about 20% and we started to get out. So probably about 10% I can go check the trade list. I mean, I wish we still sort of had it on. So whatever you have on right now is where I got out at this area. So if you guys still have it, that's the short Kunal that I had and why I had that. And then for NVIDIA, again, kind of the same way, we started to come back up. We got stopped out against that recent high, but never really put on a huge amount of shares because we didn't get into the 200 or into VWAP. And then again, once that broke right there was 187, then we stopped out of the rest of our NVIDIA. So that was a good move to the downside right there. So my number one trade today is just, this is always the way it is, man. Just a clean trades. And there's Palantir. As soon as we bottomed out at 172 there, I was like, okay, man, let's just see what we can get from Palantir. If it does fall back into 172, let's take it and then basically use like 50 cents or so as our gauge to get out. And that never came in at all. So it just, we got ran over, almost stopped us out, and then it just took off. You have to remember something. In the beginning, in the first 10 or 15 minutes here, this has a lot of price action, and the liquidity is very, very limited. Like, you could get stopped out. It could tank $1. That's the way this thing moves off the open. So just like this, how fast it went back up, we did a lot of covers here on Palantir and right into some of these pre-market highs where we were able to cover it all until eventually we lost VWAP or whatever it was at that time, and we got out at 174. So that's a 172 take there. Worst out 174 at the end of the day, and a couple outs on the way back up. So yeah, Palantir really hit it for me, and then Intel was a hit it and quit it trade early. And then for some reason, we tried to buy that dip at 40. That didn't work. Eventually busted the long of 40 and then got stopped out there once we broke lower. So up on Palantir, down on Intel, NVIDIA, good trading there. We wanted to look at Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. It looks like I do have a mark on here.
On those?
No, and that's why. So I tried to get involved here on it, and it was just like in and out, nothing, and then drop back in. So you can't trade Fannie and Freddie until there's some volume. And this is, you know, we had Jeff Mendel on last week, and I don't know, just so you guys can see this, look, that's 28. You know, the next tick before, like this down here is 25. So you have like 15 prints in the last 4 minutes. And look at the volume, although the volume's not bad, a couple thousand share prints, that's not enough for me to sit here and look at. So I do have it up. If there is action.
You know what is moving?
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at Open Door earlier, long off 6.
It is. Look, it's not crazy today, but the thing that's interesting about Open Door is it's breaking trend a little bit, and it went right into. I mean, 550-ish has been support on Open, and I know for some people 3.5% is a big move. For Open Door, 3.5% is not that big of a move. So I think there's a chance here for something a little bit better, but it's been slowly grinding higher. And what I see, I never really draw these, but if you get the idea. There's your rounded bottom on Open Door that is now filled in the gap to where it started that rounded bottom, and then all you got to do is kind of break out this top. So it's almost, it is more or less here, like 633 or 34 would be that high. So volume, there's nothing special about the volume, unfortunately. It's just like every other day. Ideally, you'd like to see the volume increasing on a breakout trade, but I think this is one that I'm looking for momentum in tomorrow. Yeah, this Halliburton doesn't seem to want to hold that volume weighted average price. Like it's kind of going, but it's 330, it's getting a little bit late. It's actually resisting VWAP instead of breaking it out. It's close, it's just not really seeing the opportunity yet for that trade. A little bit disappointing. Oh, there was that MNTS. Remember the offer, the $5.40 offering that got dropped? Well, I guess you, instead of, I kind of thought that if it would drop down and fill in the entire gap, you could look for a bid. This actually opened up in front of that $7 level, and that was the buy. So they bought that one up immediately after the down halt. Never a chance to get it back into at least somewhere in the prior day highs. I find if you can hold levels like that, it's a little bit easier to buy the dip on an offering like that. It's just if you're, like I get it, like if you just bought that open, like I'm gonna buy the dip. Well, I mean it worked for you. I just don't know where the heck you're out supposed to be if you're taking that shot. I just feel like if you take the shot here, like maybe you're stopping out at 6, or maybe you take the 6 long and you're stopping out at the prior close. Like you've got some better risk to reward if the stock had fallen further, but it didn't. So it is what it is. Like I can't really will it into some existence that's not going to be there, unfortunately. Roger Noonan says buy Halliburton leaps. Yeah, you know what? One of the questions that I saw in the chat was specifically about UU, energy fuels. I just sort of feel like any of these resource breakouts or defense breakouts, it was like, do you think it's a long swing? Like pretty much, I don't know, like I'd call it like 70 to 80% of these types of plays that have made this move after this weekend, they all look pretty good for continuation technically. But like for myself, it'll be like AVAV and what
So these are fairy tale.
Holding chocolate and all.
I don't know what these are. These were in the lunchroom.
MP, but no, I think they're all
Are
continuation plays. What are those?
Obi's had 2 of them apparently. Wow, Obi. So last week we had the turtles and you took caramel. So here's a caramel one.
Thank you.
I got walnut. There's strawberry or raspberry swirl.
Brownie.
I don't know what these are. These are called fairy tale sprites. 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 Right here. So I don't know. These were in the. So it just contains eggs, milk, walnuts, and wheat. That's it. Like pretty simple stuff right here. What is it?
This has like corn syrup and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, does it? That's just mine. I didn't read the whole thing. It just says that's
unsweetened Belgian chocolate.
Okay.
Oh, whatever. It tastes good. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Quickly, I lose my train of thought.
I like the walnut. I like pecans, anything like that. I like the.
No, I like salted caramel.
These nuts.
I like caramel in general, but like the salted caramel is.
Had to take the opportunity to do that.
I think you have to go with the D's.
Always have to do that.
Thankfully, my daughter never. It was never a thing.
Yeah, you don't want to be telling that to daughters or kids of any age, really.
Oh my goodness, we were tobogganing yesterday, and there was. Thank goodness. So my daughter's friend had a GT, one of the GT races.
Yes, we have those too. Love those.
So they're going down, and Erin was driving with her friend from class, and then this other girl's little brother was there.
Yeah.
And he was, whatever. He's used to being like to get the attention, but his sister is with a friend. He's not getting the attention.
Yeah.
So they're going down together, and he was mad that he didn't get to go with them. So he just starts.
Jumped him?
No, he just starts sliding, chasing. He's on one of the stuff that's faster. So he starts beelining in front of them on the GT. And so Erin, my daughter, to get away from him, literally had to turn in the direction of the woods. So to not run over the kid, she's steering literally into a tree. Trees. Yeah. And we're all freaking. So I'm running down there. The other dad is running down there. And she manages to miss him, go around a tree, find a little soft spot, and she comes off. She's like, "How was my driving, Dad?" I'm like,
avoided it. How big is this hill? How big is?
No, it wasn't a big hill. It's just like
I know it's
the chance that she wasn't going to hit a tree or the other kid looked like it was pretty slim from where I was standing. Yeah. So I was just relieved, and of course she was like nothing even happened.
Dude, kids are honestly
they don't care.
No,
it's just that you react so crazy, and they're like.
She was probably loving the fact that she was able to sort of
it was super
maneuver that. Yeah.
Now she's gonna want us to get a GT. That's the other thing.
These are not tilapia flavored brownies. I mean,
we didn't have a GT growing up, man. We were gangster toboggan.
Oh, we had GTs. I actually got the GTs for the kids now. But GTs are our age.
Yeah. Well, this one is way nicer than the stuff that we have, that other people have.
I know. We have
way faster.
We got here.
It's actually really maneuverable too. Like much more. The handling's pretty good on it.
These.
You guys know what GT races are, I think.
I went for $2, $100 for this one.
Nothing, man.
Yeah.
Factor in inflation. That's actually probably much cheaper.
Oh, this one's got like the little handle. This one's got the handlebars. Come on, man. We're not trying to. Okay. Here's.
What the heck is that?
Oh shoot. See, this one's saying deny. Yeah. So these things here, they're a lot of fun, man. These ones got the padded seats. It looks like.
Padded seats.
See, this is like my kid. Get out of here. This is like my kids, but they ain't wearing this. They ain't wearing this stuff. It's generic. They're supposed to be probably helmets. So my guys are wearing this stuff for snowboarding.
I've never
down like Mount St. Louis and stuff. Get out of here, man.
I've never seen a kid. We go tobogganing all the time in the winter. I ain't never seen a kid with no helmet on.
I mean, those kids are way too responsible.
I'm not saying you shouldn't wear a helmet because obviously if you run into a tree, it's probably not a bad idea if you have one. Or if you're building hills, if you're building ramps that you can jump off of, that's another reason why you should maybe have a helmet.
You have to build a ramp for them. Yeah, exactly. The cardboard is what it's at.
You could do
big ass cardboard. You had the
Chevy Chase. Which one was it?
Chevy Chase. That's my favorite movie, pretty much. He had the top of a garbage can or whatever. It's,
then he put
the cooking oil.
Cooking oil. And then he just goes ham.
Yeah.
That's some fun stuff.
That's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We saw the other one just called Vacation. I don't know if you've seen that before. Ed Helms. No. It's Christina Applegate. It's the son. Isn't Ed Helms called Vacation? Yes, it's hilarious. It's on Netflix.
No, get out of here.
It's pretty funny, actually. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are into watching that, but it's called Vacation.
I have not seen
Christina Applegate and.
Hold on a second. Oh, you know what? Maybe I have.
Ed Helms.
Is that the one with no regrets?
No. Is it No Regrets? Isn't that the Hangover? No regrets.
Isn't that
Ed Helms?
If it's that movie, then
here you just had it up.
We are in the Millers. I'm mixing up with a different.
Anyway, it's called Vacation. It's on Netflix. It's pretty funny. They go to what they call Wally's World, and they just travel around. It's like in honor of Chevy Chase, who's in it as well. And near the end, he's the dad. So it's the kid Rusty. Anyways, we saw that last night, I believe. We're the Millers. Meet the Millers.
That's what I'm thinking of. Meet them. I'm mixing up the two.
Yeah. So people in the chat. The chat is forever
never lose.
Undefeated right there as well. But yeah, okay. So we are now 20 minutes away from Jensen taking the podium. So an awesome opportunity to, of course, close out the short there on Nvidia. We've already done that. We made those bottoms, and I think it's probably worth just closing it out on anything today. We have Lisa Su coming as well to CES. That's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Central. Jensen's at 1 p.m. So right now coming up Central time. This is located Is Vegas still Central Time, or is that like Midwest or something? It must be Central. Sorry, Pacific Time, sorry. All of that is Pacific Time, so 3 hours difference, I believe, in Vegas than it is here. But anyways, for sure, AMD downside there. Of course, we are located in lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where it was snowing earlier, and I believe it is good to go right now. Just quickly, I'm going to throw to Neil in a second. Uber was the one stock today that started the day pretty red and got hit real early, man, like real bad. And then the recovery, for some reason, got hit back up. I don't know if that's Bill Ackman or what buying this. I know he's in this name. Buying this name right back up, but $83 seems to be the high there for Uber. We'll figure out if there's a trade on that when we get back from Neil.
Well, if you're looking for trading opportunities, or maybe you just want to stare at how gorgeous a monthly chart looks like on Nvidia, maybe that's your cup of tea. Either way, for 1 month free, or the first month free, that is, you can try out eSignal. It is, the deal's been going on for a while, but it's been used for a very, very long time on this trading floor by many traders. Whether you want to back test, forward test, link up to like 30 plus, I think it's actually 50 brokers at this point, and directly trade through eSignal. You can go ahead and do that. Level 1 access. The imbalance locator, which we'll see in about 10 minutes, will pop up here. You got 5-second charts, so lower time frames are going to be able to work it. I saw someone today in the chat, I was drawing a trend line on a 3-minute, and they were saying, oh no, I don't have a 3-minute on the charts with my broker. Like, that wasn't an option. And this is not to crap on any other broker, but if you want something which has pretty much everything, eSignal is going to be for you. It's highly customizable, entitlement-based, so you pay for what you choose to pay for. And as I said, the first month is going to be free. Scan the QR code you see out in front of you. Shout out to eSignal for sure. And as I said, if you just want to stare at how gorgeous a monthly chart of Nvidia is, then you can go ahead and do that, because that looks fantastic. No matter how bad your day is going, there's always a gorgeous looking, or just, you know what always makes me feel? Whenever there's a really bad day in the market, pull up, like, I do the Qs now. You can pull up the SPY. It doesn't really make a difference. Just pull up like a higher time frame, like a monthly or like a 3-month of the overall market. When the market's having a bad day, or when a stock is having a bad day. That's what will make you feel better, because then you'll realize what buying and holding quality companies can do for you. Oh, we got a couple.
I love the last one.
I just saw it myself. Let's throw up these super chats.
White
here.
Tokyo is too much.
That's a good one. Yeah, no helmets needed. Or
Origenics, yeah, shout out to Origenics.
I mean, still, maybe let's, yeah.
It's funny because my cousin Tim, you know him, he got in an accident when we were, you know, like less than teenagers, like probably like 10, 11, 12 years old. Same kind of thing, man. Took the GT Snow Racer right into a tree. I can laugh now, but I'm pretty sure he was concussed.
He seems like a daredevil type too. Like, he just.
I don't know. Yeah, he's not too. I don't know. He was younger. I was probably responsible for that. So shout out to Origenics. Coach, make sure you do check them out.
You get in trouble? Did George come down on you, boy?
No.
Okay.
I mean, the man drove himself into
But you're older than.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was probably responsible.
If something happens to my younger cousin, we go out. I remember this happened one time because my cousin from England, remember Mez? He's visiting from England. Things go down, and like my mom is ready to like snap on me. She's like, I have to call your Uncle Sonny, and you're like, no, you can't let anything happen to your cousin. No. You're responsible. So I think you got away with one.
No.
But Danny's boy.
Oh, here we go, another one. Okay.
What up, Danny's boy? One of your largest holdings is Rheinmetall.
No idea.
And you also own RNB.
Okay, so pink sheet name.
Can you guys
both in pink sheets?
Difference in the two?
So one is probably A shares and one is probably B shares. That's the only way I could say it. So one of them is going to have a right to vote. You can look them up.
No, look, if you ever have two instruments that should have a direct correlation and don't, you're probably talking about a different share class, or because in this case, you're definitely not talking about some kind of a leverage. If it's leveraged, then that maybe you could have a difference due to some decay, but that's got to be A and B. But I'm not familiar with them, so I can't. Sometimes it'll say
RNMBY.
It doesn't say on our drop down.
What was the other one? What is this? This is Rheinmetall.
This is AG. Okay. What's the other one? F shares.
Yeah,
we don't even have the F shares. Okay. We don't have access to the F shares. We have these. We don't have the F shares, unfortunately.
So I could just say maybe there's a currency issue there. One of them could be hedged against the US dollar. One could be something else. I don't
Probably like Gemini that.
Yeah, for me, without knowing, yeah, exactly. That's a good question. Yeah, ask a large language model. But I know that's not much help from us to give that to you, but I'm not sure. That's the thing. Like, when you go with BYDDY is, one set of shares, and then so you see that BYDDY. So that's down 2.6%. And then BYDDF is another. So that was down 2.6. This is down 2. So these two actually match, and they're actually pretty close. So I'm not sure about that metal company that you're talking about. Potentially, they're invested in different mines, maybe. I don't know. All right. Thank you for another awesome show.
Good-looking break.
You're welcome, Vizbot. Had a hectic day of trading. Okay. Listening to y'all, good. And help me out, stay calm and focused on this green day. Thank you to you guys. So you're welcome for that one. Thank you. You are awesome, Vizbot. And thank you for always coming back, man. I mean, it means a lot to us that you guys appreciate sort of the, the show that we put on as far as entertainment, and then hopefully some of the trades as well. And to me, it's not just about the trades, it's about explaining them and helping you guys get better in your daily trading. It's I like to think that sometimes we know a little bit about what we're doing. It's about trying to explain what we do and try to get it to you guys. And that was sort of the whole point of the show initially. I used to do this just for fun with all the offices that we had here at Real Trading, and we brought it into a show format, and it really took off. So we want to thank everybody for continuously supporting what we do around here. Coinbase. Yeah, go. Oh, you found, okay.
Well,
did you Gemini it?
I did Gemini it, but the thing is, like, if I just read the answer, the other thing that I hope you'll realize too is if we don't know something, we're not going to sit around and pretend that we do. So whatever. I didn't know this. What Rhine something?
Rhine Metal.
Rhine Metal.
I don't know.
I wasn't familiar with it. However, according to Gemini, it is like one is in foreign ordinary, and so one's the ADR. It's just an American depository receipt with a 5-to-1 split into a 5-to-1 ratio, and the other one is foreign ordinary, and it says a 1-to-1 ratio. So it doesn't seem like it's a class of share issue, although it does say that RMBY is a better choice for retail because the price ends up being lower, so you can buy it in smaller amounts. But that's sort of an obvious observation, really. But again, and what I found, the reason why, just a bit of an aside here, we've sort of found that recently, no one chat GPTs. I found that for finance questions, it tends to be like Perplexity and Gemini tend to be better. Overall. That said, I never trust everything 100% that I find there. I find it utterly hilarious that every single mode of all of these large language models, like all of these, 100% of them are absolute trash when it comes to like basic sports, like trivia knowledge. Like they'll get stuff wrong, and I'm like, man, even I know a player has done this before. Like there's a lot of stuff that you just can't seem to find that are on databases that you should be able to search. But for finance, I find that Gemini is pretty good, and so is Perplexity over ChatGPT if you happen to be asking. But with only 4 minutes to go to the imbalances,
oh wow,
Halliburton's not happening. Why did I went to ONDS. Wow, the stupid Blue Ocean drop down.
Oh man,
killing me. Halliburton continues to drop and pull back, but here's one that. ONDS at the high of the day today, triple top, it's up another 12 points. This is one of the most popular, you see it all over X. At least I did over the weekend. Anytime you're looking at individual like news, there's lots of news over the weekend. Like there's lots of posts about these guys breaking out. Yet somehow, I don't see many people talking about it here in our chat. Maybe we're just missing them, but that is a 52-week high breakout. I saw Grunfeld in the chat pointing this out. This should be on the radars tomorrow for some continuation. Kind of got lost in the sauce here today, but 12% compared to some of the other runners wasn't that big, but structurally this is a pretty hefty move. Higher lows, whole deal, right space, very popular pick for a lot of people this year is going to be ONDS. As I said, I like my AVAV. And, well, the Nasdaq might break through VWAP with only 2 minutes to go to the imbalances. We're still looking at, BDN. That was, I'd said that VSNT was an index action, but BDN is actually an S&P 600 deletion, potentially 21 million shares.
Okay. So that's why it's there.
Yeah, but that's why it's up there.
All right, I mean, you never know what is going to be happening with those imbalances. We did get a question there. We haven't addressed the, where was it? They want to know if the Academy was still going on. It is. We're working on it. We're making sure. I can't, oh, there it is right here. I'll put this on send selected. So we had advertised a little bit there. We put out a video. We talked about Sharif, myself, Neil, Adair. I think we're all pretty much in that. Brendan's in it, is in there as well. And it was to be released. We had hoped for basically Jan 1, but we're just making sure that we release it properly and get all that going. So stay tuned on that one. You will hear from us when that does come through. So working on that.
Make sure it's right.
Yeah, people just, a lot, you saw around here, people on vacation and all that kind of stuff. So you got to make sure the IT and all that works on that. But yeah, it's still definitely still happening. So thank you so much for asking us about that one. And we will keep you, everybody, posted when and if the Academy, or when it drops, not if. When it drops. So you just saw GDX was another big imbalance there. This is the gold miners ETF. So GLD would more track spot gold. This, of course, has all the Newmont or any of the gold miners with a percentage involved there. Barrick Gold, anything invested in or looking at the gold space. So GDX had a little bit of a buy. Was it a sell or buy imbalance? Oh, hold on a second.
GDX is a small. It's a sell of 1 million.
Yeah, so sell of 1 million there, along with XLF too. Wow, I mean, you wouldn't have thought they would have seen XLF up here as a sell, but again, at all-time highs there for XLF. Look at that, man! What a big middle finger right now. It's kind of like your end of your hand there, but big one to the upside into through $56 as JP Morgan, everything, man. Goldman, they all start to take off here today. What a day it was for the banks. Wow. 334 and change, pulling back a little bit, but up 3%. Like, not often you get Goldman up 5, it's probably up 4 now, but was up 5% at one point. So was Goldman Sachs up 3, and Goldman Sachs is still up 4. JP Morgan as well. We just talked about Citigroup up 4%, Wells Fargo up 3%. But here we go, man. It is now, the imbalances have now hit. So, all right, so there's BDN. Neil talked about that as an index play. Marvell, yeah, get that bid. So nice little move up from 90 to 90.50 there. Oops, don't want to cover these up. Marvell, AAL, Amazon, just to see if there's any. Oh yeah, let's go over to Tesla. 1 million, there goes Tesla. Whoops. This is why it's very difficult to be in something this late at the end of the day, because like you could have loved Tesla off VWAP and it was cooking, and all of a sudden, boom, these little imbalances hit. Apple finally with a bid. Apple's been really pulling back off of all-time highs. I'm trying to buy weakness on Apple, just it's got to get a lot weaker than this before we get in there. And then there's your DVLT. Will it or won't it, guys, get into that level of 150 there, DVLT we talked about. That's the danger zone for DVLT, but we'll see where it goes from here.
Danger zone.
Yeah, danger zone there for DVLT.
You haven't even seen Archer.
Oh. No, I know. I've seen a few episodes of that, but sometimes I just know the way to throw your voice based on what you're doing.
Yeah.
With that shit and things like that. I never even watched.
Archer is a great show.
I know Archer. Archer's another one. My eldest son used to watch that, so he's all about Archer. So.
Baxter has.
And then also Rick and Morty, Pickle Rick.
He knows all
as well. He told me about Pickle Rick when my mother. He forgot. I was telling the story. He forgot his bathing suit, and then we had to pick him up one. And my mom picked him up one at Walmart, and it had Pickle Rick all over it. So I was like, "What the hell? There's this pickle." On the bathing suit, and apparently very famous Pickle Rick.
My daughter loved, we went to Walmart in Florida. She's like, this is so nice. I'm like, we've been to Walmart.
Well, the Walmart in Florida was nice. Oh, okay.
I'm like, it was marginally bigger than the one that we go to here, but like for some reason she was really, really excited.
Yeah, she's down with that.
Okay, I'm like, can I buy stuff? I'm like, well, fine, but it's Walmart, man. Like, there's nothing here that we couldn't get at home. Thank you to, it's Easy Peasy 369. Easy Peasy. Great name. Hopefully it was easy peasy for you today. Your 2026 promise, 0.1% TTV, only 1K, but profitable.
Okay.
Well, congratulations. Oh, wait, if I'm reading.
He's going to give 0.1%.
Oh, I see what you're getting.
Every time he's profitable.
I mean, look, we appreciate it. You don't have to do that.
Thank you. Yeah.
We don't ask for anything like that.
We'll just keep marking it down.
You know what? Everything, you see us trying to make the show bigger and better so you guys get a better show. And we're here every single day the market's open for you. And it's free on YouTube for anyone to consume. And that's what it's all about. I still am.
Free 99.
I love this ticker. I just can't wait till we can see that ticker maybe a little bit better. Does this ticker just, oh, of course, I love that ticker, and then it freezes like right as I'm talking.
Well, now it's on that board. That's better. It's on, it's on where Brendan sits now.
Yeah, it's just, I think you need like a higher shot to maybe.
I like that.
But it's still pretty cool. Like you can see
You can see right at the close. Like you're looking at silver there going through there.
Perfect.
It's
great. It's easy to read, and I can look back and see SMR, ONDS, INBS. What the heck was that? Intelligent Biosciences? Oh, yuck. Okay. Anyway, there was a lot of small cappers that just did not hold on. Wow, they really did sell off that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Halliburton really started losing the bid here.
Oh, Halliburton, huh?
Yeah, well, it's a good thing we didn't try to go along that one. I still believe this is not, I don't think this is a one-day type of event, but a lot of these names, like your best bets were early, and then they weren't that strong in the afternoon. So I think you're going to look for your continuation. Maybe we have to apply the 3-day rule to some of these gap ups. Just let them settle down for a couple of days, because these are some pretty big breakouts after this weekend's action. And if you bought tops early, and for holding on swing trades, you might be in some trouble. But if you have entry prices, like for the day trade, it was fine in the morning, but if you have entry prices that are all the way up here, because you got in off the open or got in early, you might not be loving it. I think if you can pull back into prior highs, these can all work. You just got to pick your poison.
Thank you to Joe Bolton for becoming a member. And of course, if you become a member, it's $5 a month. You get the morning notes. You get cool emojis. But what we really want people, and thank you so much for doing that. We got to get these going though. The subscribers, man, 5,000 watching. Forget about it. If you want to hit the like button, hit the like button. That's okay. We would like you to do that. But yeah, we got to get to 550. Who's over there? Andre. Thanks, Andre. 550,000 subscribers is what we're looking for. So if even half of you that haven't subscribed yet right now, because we have this little thing that Fabian built, 22% of you are not subscribed. So hit the subscribe right now. If we get 22%, if every single one of you that's not involved in the subscription right now hits it right there, it's completely for free. Just hit the join. No, sorry, you got to hit the subscribe button. So once you do that on this bell, does that mean I'm not subscribed if I have that, or is that just alerts? I'll say all. Okay, there it is. So yeah, you got to hit the subscribe button and get going there. 550,000 is what we're looking for every single day at 8 a.m. We are live now. So, set your alarms just a little bit earlier. Join Neil, myself, all of these guys, man. Joe, Sharif, Adara, who am I missing? Sia, Brendo, all with a morning rundown. And yeah, going forward, make sure you join us in the new year at 8 a.m. There's Obi and there's Joe. Focused. Yeah, they're just
Joe with the two indoors.
There's Joe. He's on his own phone. He's on his phone there.
Looking
up hockey sticks.
Obi's just locked in.
Yeah, here we go. He's got to get his mic on.
Honestly,
there. Only 5 minutes.
If we did have that table hockey, that would be so.
We could eventually get that.
No, we straight up the trading floor years ago we had a foosball table, and the only reason we got rid of it is, let's just say, the back office would constantly complain about the noise.
Yeah, well, it was not. Yeah.
Well, it's
very loud.
It's not our fault. Instead of putting it anywhere near to the trading floor, it was literally in the hallway, next to the back office and beside the elevator. Like, it wasn't our choice to put it there.
Watch the Team Canada game last night.
I've been watching every single game.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. These 2000s kids aren't built the same like the 90s.
I think they're going to be really. I think these guys are going to be good, man. Martone and Gavin McKenna and all that.
But they're not good enough to.
The world's catching up, man. It's just.
Yeah, they lost to Czechia again.
Yeah.
The United States lost.
I understand that the world's catching up, Neil, but you're supposed to be the greatest at the sport. This is our sport.
They still are. It is still our sport.
Exactly.
You can lose every once. You can lose every once in a while, my guy.
Okay. Brother, they've lost 3 years in a row to Czech.
Okay, so but look at basketball, right? I mean, the U.S. is getting a huge competition. Some of the best, most of the best players, almost all the best players in the NBA are born outside of the United States.
When they do the U.S. World All-Star game, you'll see what's up.
Yeah, but I think basketball is still considered to be dominated by the U.S. But you are
closing the gap.
Yeah, so I think that's a good point there.
It's more of a challenge. The boys had they have a lot of pressure.
Obi just is like, sports. What are you even talking about right now? Obi, what are you listening to then?
I am listening. This is called Lyth.
I don't think they can hear it.
Whoa, Tesla's really
L-Y-T-L-I-T-H-E, whatever that is. Lyth. Trading some lithium and listening to some lith
Australia
as well. All right, guys, thank you for checking in. We'll see those guys tomorrow on the Midday Madness. Peace out. Thanks, Joe. That was fun to do that. Yeah, we'll be listening to Lady Gaga. Yeah, maybe there. You never know. I don't mind some poker face, mama poker face. All right.
My Tesla sell-off.
Yeah, I mean, the Nasdaq's getting hit right here. We could check out on Nvidia here into CES. You are now 2 minutes away from Jensen. I mean, go right from our stream right over to Nvidia, and we'll see what CES is all about. I think Nvidia tomorrow will not be at 188. That is for sure. So watch out to see what Nvidia does here. Only down 0.4. No, the sky is not falling on Nvidia today, but it did make a nice little downside move there as well. Yeah, so we're moments away, and then AMD as well tonight with Lisa Su. So if you're looking for something to watch.
Intel in between, though.
Oh, Intel?
I think it goes 4 o'clock, NVIDIA.
Okay.
The presentation, 6 or 6:30, and then AMD is in the late evening. There's a bunch of other stuff, but those are, I think, the big 3.
I think it could only go good for Intel, but it could go bad for the other 2.
I would tend to agree.
Watch, it could be the other way around, you watch.
Well, the U.S. government is invested in Intel.
Well, I just think that Intel has good things like NVIDIA and AMD are worried about the demand and all that kind of stuff. I think you just want to hear what the roadmap is maybe for Intel and what they're planning on. And
if they can just improve their yield.
Yeah, I mean, Intel's the one that's
one big client, it's game over.
I mean, Intel's still underneath where it was like 2 years ago, right? So we still have a lot to get up to.
NVIDIA, if they get their yield over 50%, and NVIDIA's like, okay, we trust them now. Once they get their foot in the door with NVIDIA, who's already invested them to fabricate some of their chips, then that business, the upside is going to be huge because there's a genuine intent.
Andrew Wiggins.
They want them to work. So with 40 seconds to go in here, it's really Tesla. The market's falling. Tesla was the strong name that lost a bit. There were weak names already. Like NVIDIA was weak, and the chip names were weak, but Tesla was strong all day and is now getting a little bit of a sell-off going in the last 30 seconds here, unfortunately. Robert calls this hot potato on Tesla. Yeah, it goes from all kinds of support, and then that support just got dropped here right at the end of the day. Still going to be a very good day for Tesla overall. Heck, it's still going to be a green day. Even the market doesn't look good, but it's going to be a green day for the market. This closing bell brought to you by Origenics, transforming concussion carrots, OGEN, listed on the NYSE. Want to shout out to them. And now your Monday bell, the first Monday trade of the new year. Yeah, now the first full volume day of the new year, really, because Friday was, kind of.
Yeah, it was a full day, but yeah, the volume was not there. Today we go the Nasdaq up 0.77, so 0.8, and then ES 0.63. So what a great start to the year, as we said. Although it is the second trading day, we'll watch out for Nvidia to go, and we'll just cover this all tomorrow. That is for sure. So what a great day. Thank you everybody for watching again here today. The market's up and down, silver moving. Bitcoin, what a great day for Bitcoin, up to 94.1 again there today. Silver and gold both upside there. CES starting to kick, so I think that's going to create a lot of news coming through. Make sure you get our watch list every single morning. We'll cover all the stories for you. You don't need to go anywhere else. Sign up. Get that link in the description for the watch list, and you'll have everything in your inbox tomorrow at 8 a.m. You don't need to even worry about what stocks are moving around because we'll be covering them. And if you like to read, then you can read. I'm over at hockey tonight, so we practice where the Leafs practice. So if they're in there today, I'm going to give them some, for their recent play. We'll talk to the Maple Leafs. They probably won't be there. They were in Long Island I think they actually at home to Boston maybe next or something. But yeah, they're 2 points out of the playoffs. They're okay. Hopefully they can make that. But here we go. Not a bad idea tonight to have lower bids on Nvidia. If
Blue Ocean's gonna be wild.
Yeah. If you do like to potentially watch out for stock, if Nvidia says something, if Jensen says something, maybe you do get a nice move higher or lower over there. But all right, so it's hockey. You guys don't have anything tonight. We just have hockey.
Well, we're free. There's we don't start anything back until swimming on Wednesday.
Okay,
and then I don't think Girl Guide starts back again until next week. I don't think they're not on this week. So we're pretty cool. I'm kind of hoping to get a little bit of outdoor tobogganing when I get home because we got a bunch of snow. So hopefully it's clear.
By the time you get home, though, you got to go. Are you at a place that has lights? Because it's gonna be pitch black by the time you get home.
Well, we can kind of use like a local in our front yard when we have enough snow. Like I can make a little bit of a hill she can dive down.
Oh, and you're on your front. Okay.
Oh, and we can do it in the back too. It's a little bit of work to create something that works, but no, it's not anything crazy. And we'll do like snowball fights and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Good. Okay, good show, man. Have fun with the snowball fights. Don't take one to the face. And thank you, Obi. Thank you, Joe. Thanks, Brendo, Sharif, Sia, everybody. Yeah, watch out for those headshots. That's where my kids be aiming, that's for sure. All right, thank you, everybody, for watching. We're back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Make sure you do see us then. Follow us all on social media. We're all over the place. Some good Instagram reels and whatnot tonight. I think that's what they're called. All right, that's Neil. I'm Sean. Ciao for now.
Peace.